Hey, Jeff,
Hey, Phil.
what's the difference between Jesus Christ and Adolf Hitler?
I don't know what.
Well, Jesus Christ fed 2,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Hitler, he made 6 million Jews toast.
Jeez.
Oh, God. Wow.
Well, we're back, so let's say this. Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green!
Baby, like he said, the one, the only, especially the guy that can tell a joke without reading it off the computer like a fucking weirdo. Phil.
I don't know many weirdos that tell jokes, so Phil still got the benefit. Speaking of weirdos, let's say hello to our friend and colleague, Eric Louderback.
That's Coach Louderback to you, or Coach Loudy, or fucking. And my advice in the beginning, if at first you don't succeed, fuck them. Do it anyway.
Alright, that's been Coach Loudy's life lessons. Thanks for listening. And finally, the Dr. Phil Seitz.
One time, I fucked this chick so hard, she almost came back to life.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense. I believe you did that more so than Dustin.
Well, it was impossible for Dustin because she didn't have a dick.
True. He was looking for it too, long and hard, but nothing there was long and hard.
Nope.
Alright, so this is our first post-Thanksgiving episode, so we're back from the holiday. We're a little fatter, a little more, diabetic-friendly, or pre-diabetic in some cases, and a little broker. So, did everyone have a good Thanksgiving?
Hell yeah, man. A lot of drink, a lot of food, a lot of shenanigans. Not our level shenanigans, but soft, kind shenanigans your mother could be proud of.
My mom would be proud of our shenanigans.
God damn it, the next person that says shenanigans, I'm gonna pistol whip him.
Hey, I knew where that was going.
Hey, Dion, what's that place you like with the mozzarella sticks and the silly shit on the wall?
You mean shenanigans?
Oh.
Hey, Dion, when did you move to California and become a bitch? You sound like Link from Good Mythical Morning.
Oh. I'd say thank you, but go fuck yourself.
So did any of you guys, besides Phil, go Black Friday shopping?
I did. I got a brand new TV. I got Skyrim for PS4, and then I bought... that was it. Yeah.
What,
so I got
what TV did you buy?
Oh, no, I got a $5 subscription to Sports Illustrated.
All right!
Time out. I thought
When's your football
Skyrim
phone
was to get a
coming?
rim job on an airplane.
Well, that too, but I got the one that is the game with all their clothes on. You see a lot less butthole.
Oh, right.
Dustin wouldn't like that one.
You know Dustin actually plays that game all the time.
Yeah, he was playing it last show he was on.
Yeah. So, what kind of TV did you get, Dion?
I got a 49-inch LG smart TV.
Nice. I bet you love it.
Mm-hmm. I was going to get a 4K, but I realized that I wasn't a raging retard, so I was like, I'll just get what I know I want, and that's a smart TV that with technology that I know I can use today.
Well, there's a new study out that says 4K television consumption leads to diabetes, so you're helping
I saw a
yourself.
report. Wasn't it the UCLA faggots or something that were doing that?
I was going with the Huffington Post, but whatever.
That was a shout out to my boy Dustin McNeese. Yeah, that was for you, baby. That was your joke, son.
He doesn't listen to the show.
I don't know. Maybe he does. I'm going to go with no for this week.
Yeah, probably not.
So, Loudy, did you go?
Black Friday shopping? No, I went to work instead.
He's one broke-ass motherfucker.
True. Phil and I went and bought some Blu-rays and other shit, so we went
twice.
I went to Best Buy 3 times on Black Friday.
Personally, you could not fucking pay me enough to go out in that fucking bullshit.
It's because you live on Coleraine Avenue, dude. It's real easy to get around over here.
Coleraine Avenue.
It doesn't. It's not the fact that I live on Coleraine Avenue. It's the fact that I've worked retail and have worked Black Fridays, and it's fucking goddamn awful. And it makes me want to murder innocent Mexican orphans.
Dude,
you can do that anyway.
I worked for GameStop for 4 years.
You what?
I worked for GameStop for 4 years.
Sorry.
Black Friday was fucking terrible. 14-hour shifts on Black Friday.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Fucking, I worked I worked at Aeropostale one Black Friday and wanted to about hang myself from the mall.
You should have if you worked at Aeropostale, you bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you should have hung yourself anyway for working there.
I bought a sweater from there once. I regretted it for a whole year.
Hey, man.
I want to make fun of you for buying a sweater and how you said that just so I bought a sweater from there once, and I was waiting for you to be like, and then I missed my game of tennis with my uncle, and on top of that, my goddamn omelet was overcooked. And I'm like, fucking fuck no.
Hey, you joke about overcooked omelets. I had that problem at the casino buffet this weekend, and I bitched up a storm.
God, you're still going to the casino buffet? Jesus.
Free food, man.
No, every time you go, I get depressed because I'm like, I need to go back to that because it was fantastic.
Phil, all that money we won bumped our cards up to a high roller status, so we get like free food essentially. So like to pay $4.99 to eat at that buffet is worth it.
Dude, you have to let me know when you're going back there.
Okay.
Well, for us, Loudy, it would be $20-something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no.
You'll stick to Frisch's.
Yeah, I'll stick with Frisch's.
I haven't been to Frisch's buffet in
$9.
fucking eons.
I haven't been there since last Sunday. Anyway, on with the show. Superhero Month is technically over, but there hasn't been a Superhero Month episode with everyone on it, so we're going to kind of treat tonight's episode as the closing chapter in the Superhero Month saga before we go full bore into Star Wars again. And that should be fun. Most of us have tickets for the movie. I'll be going to the 7 p.m., and you'll get a review early as shit from me. And then the following day, we'll get everyone together, and we'll do a roundtable discussion on the film. My expectations are pretty goddamn low just to keep my sanity, but, you know, I don't want to get too depressed.
Yeah.
All right, and I watched the trailer again, and, like, even though I thoroughly enjoyed the first one, the last few trailers have been awful. I mean, the fucking them and again, before a lot of you out there, I mean, I know most of our fans won't do this, but before you jump on that fucking annoying ass, smelly fucking high horse of, well, you're just saying that because it's a girl. No, the fact that there's a fucking trailer where the chick goes, they have this weapon. What hope do we have? And the worst Star Wars dialogue, this is worse than the children one, where she looks at her and goes, rebellions are built on hope. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
That's the tagline of the movie.
That's retarded.
No one would speak like that.
No other Star Wars movies.
It wasn't a problem until somebody said it in the trailer.
And Phil, what other Star Wars movie has a fucking tagline? None. They're all subtitled films.
Not only that, she's supposed to be cool, right? She's supposed to be this rebellious Han Solo rehashing, right? She's supposed to take Darth Vader one-on-one, and she has this mushy... What character are you trying to turn her into? Is she fucking Alfred from the Dark Knight series, or is she a fucking rebellious badass? Like, no rebellious badass goes, but rebellions are built on hope.
Dion, I have one bigger question. Who the fuck is this chick, and why do they listen to her? Like, hey, strange woman that just so happens to fit the mold of the agenda Hollywood's trying to throw at you, we're going to listen to you because you're right. Or white. This movie looks like a fucking United States of Benetton ad. It's just fucking like, hey, we're going to have the white woman, the Hispanic dude, the Asian dude, the black dude. It's like, okay. And then the robot. Why can't we just have, like, an alien lead? Like, why not a green person? You know?
That's racist.
Yeah, against green people.
Exactly. Now,
as much as I don't praise Guardians of the Galaxy, like, at least they kind of, you know, they didn't put the diversity in your face. It's like, hey, a black woman's playing a green woman. Who gives a shit? Cool, she's green. Batista's like 88 things mixed together. He plays a purple dude. Cool. Let's just, let's do this.
Yeah.
Well, in Donald Trump's America, this kind of thinking will be put to bed forever. No, I'm just joking. Dustin's not here to make those jokes.
Trump's America's now, boy.
All right, before we go any further, I want to say this. A very special happy birthday, belated birthday, to a listener of our show, Nathan Simmons. Nathan, we know you're a big fan of the show. You talk to us on Facebook. We know you watch all of our videos and tell everyone about us. So we just want to tell you thank you and happy birthday. So, Nathan, this episode is dedicated to you.
Expect nothing but rigorous hand jobs from Dion.
Yeah, I mean, his arms can reach all the way to the UK.
Baby oil I want to try out. It smells different. It's going to be fantastic.
Is it cocoa butter and jizz?
I thought it was lavender.
Oh, yeah.
Also, speaking of shout-outs, let's give a shout-out to our listener of the week, Momo Unchained. He recently found our channel, and he just said that he found us through the Star Wars Episode 7 review a few days ago, and he's been watching everything ever since. So, Momo Unchained, thank you for the interaction on our channel. We appreciate it. We need more people like you to, keep this shit rolling. And another special thanks to Reality's Frank for picking up an official World Class Bullshitters t-shirt. Frank, that makes you one of the few members in the World Class Bullshitters Hall of Fame. So, you're up there with us. Welcome.
We need to make like an audio clip or something, or a noise, so that when we induct people, it's like something that plays. Like, we induct this person, and then you got.
How would you feel about using the old WWE Hall of Fame theme? That really shitty one. Dun, 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 dun.
That's the one they still use.
They still use it.
Oh, I thought they got rid of it for something better.
No, they still use that.
No, they still use it, man.
Well, that's as much as we can play without getting in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, or we could just, Wiener Cousins. I don't know.
WWE is one of those companies that'll try to sue the balls off of us.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had shit with their content in it, and they've never said anything before.
Yet.
It's been up for 8 years, Phil. I think I'm safe.
Well, they're about to find that shit.
Just give it time, Jeff.
At this point, I don't care. I don't need to watch or make any more videos about The Rock. So, we've discussed what happened this past week for us. Let's get into the news, because next week it's irrelevant. We have a ton of news to talk about, so I hope you're in the mood for news. And first, I'm going to say one thing, Dion, that's very important. This pertains to you and me and everyone of discerning taste. On December 1st, a.k.a. today, Beverly Hills Cop is coming back to Netflix.
Baby.
Oh my God, yes.
So, my life is about to get filled with Axel Foley, Taggart, and Rosewood. Oh, and Dion, by the way, some of those guys I know from the convention circuit hung out with fucking Judge Reinhold the other week. I'm pissed.
Holy shit.
God
Fuckers.
damn.
Yeah, I could have went to this show to hang out, and I was like, it's Thanksgiving coming up. I'm just going to hang out at home. God damn it, I could have hung out with Judge Reinhold. Like, that's the only celebrity I'm kind of pissed, like, fuck, I missed out.
Son of a bitch.
I love Billy.
Go
All right, well, that's
Billy.
enough. That's enough for me. Phil, you got a bunch of news. Why don't you go first?
Well, I'm going to sum up the last 2 weeks in one paragraph. Are you ready?
Diabetes, Black Friday, gun shooting, Dan's not here.
Gatlinburg's on fire. Black Friday's over. Fidel Castro's dead. Mrs. Brady is dead. Rogue One is 2 weeks away. And now Deadpool 2 has a new director. After Tim Miller departed the film due to creative differences with Ryan Reynolds, 20th Century Fox has quickly found a replacement in David Latak? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right.
I'm going to guess you're not.
He was the uncredited director for the first John Wick movie. Deadpool 2 is still slated for a March 2018 release.
I'm going to give Deadpool a lot more credit. We'll talk about it more in the movie, or more in the show. But I rewatched it this week twice after I was with you, Phil. I like that movie a lot more than I remember.
Yeah. I've had it on in the car, so it's getting kind of old.
Well, I don't need to watch it in your car again, but I'm going to bring over some DVDs for you to keep in your car, okay? I got hundreds of them. I got hundreds of them. I'll give you a personalized copy of
DVDs. I just don't feel like pulling them out.
Well, you're about to own 3 copies of Beverly Hills Cop.
I don't like pulling out.
Well, neither does Dion.
Clearly.
Goddamn right.
What else you got, Phil? Anything?
That would be it from me, sir.
Oh, wow, okay. By the way, listeners, if you're an observant World Class Bullshitters fan, you'll know that Nick lives in Gatlinburg when he's not in Samoa. And to let you know, Nick is fine. Everything related to Nick is fine. Didn't lose anything in the fire, except his dignity and his pants. So, Nick, we know you're alive. We've talked to you. We will talk to you in the future, a.k.a. next week.
The funny thing, even though I'm glad my homeboy's all right, the funniest thing out of the whole Gatlinburg situation was that Nick was really sassy afterwards, and just like he posted the picture of the 2 dudes that got caught, and he's just like, yeah, looks like a Trump supporter. I was like, damn, dude, like I get it, but you are just sassy black woman right now. So there was a silver lining to it, and I like sassy black Nick Udom.
But Medea was in the house.
Medea will never be in any house I'm in, Loudy. Shut up.
Okay.
Loudy, what news
Should
you
be
got?
in the pancake house, in the Waffle House.
Hey,
Chicken
I will
house.
go to the Waffle House. Speaking of Waffle House,
I will not go to the Waffle House. That's one place on the road to WrestleMania we will not be stopping.
Fair enough. Can we stop the Lions Den?
Yes, we can. I don't know if there's one on the way down there, but
Hey, I'm sure we could find them. But as far as my news goes, this one hits a little bit close to home as far as all the depressing shit. For those of you who live under a rock and don't pay attention to the world around you, it started off as a shooting at Ohio State, and then come to find out the gunshots that were reported were the officers who subdued the guy, who drove his car up onto a curb, got out, and then started slashing and stabbing people with a butcher knife.
This almost sounds like the plot of a bad movie. But
Yeah,
it's
and then ISIS claimed him.
Well, that is probably the biggest piece of news around these parts, and it's retarded. I can't believe that we are still going on with this shit. Like, every couple weeks, we got some more bullshit. Oh, somebody's attacking you on a college campus. Like, why would you attack a college campus? It's like the most fun place on earth. Fuck Disney World. I'd rather go to a college campus. You can learn something, you can get drunk, you can get laid, and you can have a good time.
Absolutely.
And you can get free money if you're smart.
Hey, I was not.
I got a couple $1,000 checks. I loved those.
I did not.
I know.
Fortunately, I have a loved one that goes to Ohio State. Luckily, she was not anywhere near. It was on the northeast end of campus, closer to one of the main drags, where she was on the other side of campus. So that's always, good that I didn't have to worry about that. But they had them all locked in a building at a time, like, hey, you guys aren't going anywhere. You're staying here, and So we kept in contact the entire time, so that was nice.
Did you see the ESPN thing? The entire football team is safe.
I did not see that.
Yeah, somebody released a statement that the entire football team has been accounted for and they're all safe. It's like, what about the other 38,000 people on campus?
Don't worry about that.
Hey, they're on a roll, man.
Roll Tide,
hold on. The funny thing is that one of the people who got stabbed was like a chemistry professor, and he got stabbed in the leg, and after all was said and done, he literally said, "Well, we still beat Michigan."
Hey, like Dion, I know you're not a Michigan fan, but how do you feel about Ohio State right now?
I love that they beat Michigan. I love that they are in the playoff over Michigan, and I love that Michigan will not get in the playoff. And I can be a raunchy dick about it because I just love pissing Michigan fans off. So fuck.
But Dion, they're saying there's a chance.
There's no chance.
They're saying there's a chance, unfortunately.
But I'm telling you,
are you talking more like 1 in 100 or like 1 in a million?
I'm talking. There are a few. Okay, so Penn State will have to win the Big Ten title.
It's a Dumb and Dumber reference. I don't care about
Jeff
sports.
Doesn't watch sports.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was going through the days of way back almost.
You're too excited. You're as excited as I am about sports as I am about this Steve Urkel coloring book I found in the other room.
You found a Steve Urkel coloring book?
Yeah, I'll send it to the Facebook chat. Anyway, Dion, what kind of news do you got, dude?
Oh, I have one Power Rangers related. Outside of all the kind of shitty news we've been getting in terms of toys and plots and trailers, this one is about the Star Wars Power Rangers comic book. They're releasing, or not releasing, but they announced that in the next issue, issue 9, I think, they're going to reveal a new Power Ranger, who, again, is going to be, at first, allied with the bad guy. But we're going to get a new Power Ranger in the comic book. So I'm actually kind of excited about it. I haven't read the comic books yet, but
they suck.
Yeah, you know that I like buying the paperbacks. I don't buy single issues. But I'm kind of excited for a new Power Ranger.
The only thing is,
it
makes no sense, though, because that comic book takes place when Tommy the Green Ranger became good and allied with the Rangers.
Right.
So, in the course of the show, which is chronicled, there's no new Ranger. And then there's the White Ranger. So, like, this comic book is a bad idea.
Yeah, it's... Because at first they were saying it was canon, and then now they're trying to say that it's not canon, it's its own universe, but it's the same characters. So, which is kind of why I'm waiting for a paperback because I don't want to buy a single issue and then it suck dick, and then I have this flimsy ass thing. I'd rather at least buy the paperback, and then at least I can just say, yeah, I got a fucking Power Rangers comic book, and if it sucks, I don't feel so bad about it. But
well, if you'd like, I can just send you a link to read it for free online.
Yeah, well, yeah, I lost the last one you sent me a while ago when you.
I'll resend it to you because I've been catching up on some Spider-Man stuff. Like Aunt May's new husband died, and I was pretty shocked. I was inconsolable for moments.
I feel you.
Speaking of Power Rangers and bad shit, did you see the new Alpha 5 design?
Oh.
Dude, it looks so bad. He looks like a fucking xenomorph with an alpha head. It looks horrible.
I saw it and died inside.
What was left inside of you to die, Loudy? Because you're pretty much like
dead already.
I say, haven't you died like the last 8 weeks in a row on the show?
I don't know. Have I?
You died last week during our Thanksgiving extravaganza.
Well, then, technically, we all died, so...
But, by the way, Brian Lape and Augs for President knew exactly when we recorded that episode. Because, like, you recorded it then? Because I guess we were talking about Schlocktoberfest or something. Like, well, okay, so we recorded the shit for Thanksgiving. Like, well, that's it. Good night. And then I thought, well, I really don't want to have minutes of silence. So I went back into the unreleased World Class Bullshitters archives and pulled that little clip out. And I was like, now is the time. So... we need to record some more backup shit so we can have that for, later episodes like Christmas. Or maybe we should just do it. Or we should just get Nick when he's back on higher ground to get us a couple Christmas movies, and we should do some drunk eggnog commentaries on
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way, I'm there. Jingle All the Way, Die Hard, and Christmas Story or something.
It's turbo time.
You said when he's back on higher ground, he's in the Smoky Mountains.
There's Bill with the shitty elevation.
Can you tell me what the elevation of the Smoky Mountains are from sea level? Because, like, if you're going to make that joke, you need to back it up with hard facts.
Yeah, and if you're going to do a dad joke, do it in a dad voice. Like, he's already in the Smoky Mountains, right, son?
Okay, Nicole. I wish people knew who we were talking about.
Nicole, he sounded like Borat.
No, we knew a girl named Nicole. Very cute, but had a voice just like that. That was her cadence. She'd be like, hey, guys, want to hear a joke? And then you'd be like, okay. And then she'd tell us the joke. And sometimes it was funny. Sometimes it was not funny.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to imagine her sex voice. Oh, yeah, that's the spot.
Well,
oh, yeah, keep
Jake used to fuck her, so we can ask Jake.
Jake the Snake?
No, Jake the pissed off 6.5-foot Korean. Well, he's shorter than me, but he's still tall. Korean. All right, well, apparently that's the news. Oh, yeah, I had a piece of news that we'll end with. It's bullshit, so it fits this show. Fucking the all-female-led 21 Jump Street has got a director, so that's going to be a thing. Yeah,
yeah. There's a female 21 Jump Street that's going to be going on.
Damn it.
Well, remind me
just do that with moms.
Yeah, they tried that, and I'm not... Look, I was hoping that the Ghostbusters experiment would lead to, if it was a success, they would make more. If it was a failure, they wouldn't. And from a fan, they told us that they're going to make more Ghostbusters movies, and now they're going to do these more all-female versions of films. It's like, just either make a female film that's original, or make a male-female film. Don't try to get this whole, like, hey, the gimmick of this film is, hey, they're all women. Like, I'm not going to rush out to see an all-women-led film just because it's all women.
But not only that, it's so, and I know I've said this a bunch, but it's so disingenuous when you do that. Like, and of course, it's the same thing with politics, but people don't learn. So, Ghostbusters, even though that that they're lying and saying it didn't cost it, it lost, what, $70 million? So, it's not because people are sexist, it's because it was literally... they were just like, hey, here's the all-female version, watch it and give us money. It's like people can tell when you're being shitty about something. And, make it a male and a female, fucking an original buddy cop movie with two chicks. Like, god damn it.
Wait, Dion, you said the key word, original. Nothing is fucking original nowadays.
Hollywood is dead as far as...
Well, it's by choice, because they're afraid to take a risk. Now, you look at, like, I know this is a weird choice, but if you look at a Marvel movie, yeah, it's the Marvel brand that they're cashing in on, but each movie is independent, like, in theme and tone. It's not like, hey, Doctor Strange is essentially Captain America with magic. No, they're completely different. At least you get an original story under that umbrella. I can't think... Like, okay, Phil, we went out and saw Arrival the other week. That was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was too political.
At least it was original.
It was original.
It was essentially Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but with Amy Adams, so, you know, she's more attractive than Richard Dreyfuss by just enough.
Very good point.
Encounters of the Third Kind.
Alright, I saw Zack and Miri make a porno. I love that movie. Okay, so that is the news this week, and let's get into the debate. So, this week's debate is going to be a little different. We're going to obviously let the listeners decide who wins and who loses, but it's a topic I saw online that made me think for quite a while. So, we are living in what I would call the superhero renaissance, and, you know, there's so many different movies to choose from. So, this week's debate is, what was the better trilogy? The new X-Men trilogy, from First Class to Apocalypse, or the Captain America trilogy? Dion agreed to argue for X-Men, and Loudy and Phil and I guess are going to argue for Captain America? Or, Loudy, are you in on this, or what?
I'll moderate, because, well, we all know how many Marvel movies I've seen.
Okay, so...
I kind of want to just... Because you guys are the best arguers here. I kind of want to see Jeff and Dion go back and forth.
This is going to be like Ali versus Tyson.
Because I really don't feel I could say anything more than Jeff could. And I'm not going to argue X-Men. So,
Loudy, what you're telling me is that this is The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, and I'm The Rock.
Amen to that. Sorry, Dion, you're racist.
Either that or Dion can be stone cold.
Why can't I be stone cold?
Either way, he's still racist.
Well, I just thought because you do a better Hulk Hogan voice than I do, Dion, so...
That's a good point. That's right, brother.
I still can't do The Rock's voice. I've never even really tried. Maybe if I practice for, like, a day...
It doesn't matter if you can't do The Rock's voice.
You just sound like an old white dude, Loudy.
Yeah, old white dude doing The Rock.
It doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Croc.
This isn't old school Raw, damn it.
So I don't have any questions prepared. This is kind of an off-the-cuff debate, but I thought it would be interesting. So Dion, would you like to go first, since you are the excitable one?
Sure. I'm actually kind of a little bit extra excited because I thought you were thinking the first X-Men trilogy, but now you're saying the new one. Okay, this will be fun.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I forgot to put that in the description, but I was only picking the new X-Men trilogy because it's concurrent with Captain America.
Right.
Every year, one of those films has come out. A Captain America film came out, so I thought it would be a nice, like a quid pro quo type of deal.
Cool.
I got a question for you.
All right.
I'll start with Dion. Dion, who has the better leader and why?
Well, you know what? I will say, I'll answer your question and I'll do my overall breakdown of why I think the X-Men trilogy is better. First off, in all honesty, I think that the better leader is Magneto between the two trilogies. One, Magneto is obviously intelligent. He's very powerful, but also, through a lot of what he says, he's right. The great thing about this trilogy is it does not only reflect the time period that it's in terms of, kind of like the political atmosphere, but also, it's Magneto's perspective is something that you can agree on. You can agree with. You can see why a group of individuals feel persecuted by everyone around them, not just from non-meta humans, regular humans, whatever you want to call them, people who don't have the X gene, but each other. You have Magneto is upset with essentially the whole rival brother dynamic with Professor X, and he's able to convince people like Mystique, like Beast, especially in First Class when you can see that Magneto's trying to be that devil on Mystique and Beast's shoulder throughout the movie. You know, he's able to portray that, hey, these motherfuckers killed my mom, especially even in the beginning of Days of Future Past when, you know, Charles is on this high horse and he's essentially a fucking drug addict, not in a wheelchair. You know, he fucking approaches Magneto. Magneto says, "Where the fuck were you? You know, you were walking around in the goddamn X Mansion where, you know, our brothers were fucking getting captured and dissected by the goddamn government. I tried to say fucking JFK while you were sitting playing with yourself in your wheelchair." You know, that's why I think that between the two, even though I think it'd be very close, Magneto's the better leader. Now, to go on as to why, like I said before, it's a very in-depth story that you can sit, you can watch, you can empathize with. And again, you know, as far as the two, you know, Avengers or Captain America and you know, whatever group of Avengers he's with, X-Men is that visualization that people wanted to see, especially with the yellow uniforms and the Apocalypse storyline and the story, you know, Days of Future Past. Obviously, you know, people wanted to see them put to film, and that's why I'm rolling with the X-Men right now.
So people wanted to see him so bad that X-Men Apocalypse is the lowest grossing one of the whole series.
Well, I mean, obviously there were mistakes. I'm not going to say that there's not mistakes, but...
Well, look, first off, speaking of mistakes, Magneto's not the leader of the X-Men. He's not even on their side in Apocalypse. He's the bad guy who joins up with Apocalypse and fights them. He's one of the four horsemen of the Apocalypse. So,
but Captain America... He's the co-leader in First Class.
First Class. Yeah, okay, cool. But Captain America is always the leader, and he's a much better leader. One, he's willing to die for his people. Magneto's just kind of like, well, I've lost interest in our beliefs, so I'm going to go off and do this. Magneto, he's really never even like... I would always put him as the bad guy. That's not that bad, but he's never your best friend either. Because, like, in the end of, what is that? Days of Future Past, he's trying to kill Nixon, and he's doing all this shit, and they have to fucking fight him. Like, he's a shit leader. I don't even know who the leader is, because even Professor X is wishy-washy. He
turned heel in First Class.
Yeah, I'm saying that he's like wishy-washy though. It's like he goes from I'm all gung-ho about this project to I'm a drug addict to hey, I'm okay with this. Like Captain America is always on the straight and narrow path. So that's your leader question. Like Captain America, hell, he leads the Avengers. Even Iron Man says it in the opening of Age of Ultron. He's the leader. I just pay for everything and make us look cool. So with that confirmation, Captain America leads the Avengers and his own team of Team Cap in Civil War. Second, you were talking about... sorry, Walker, Texas Rangers on. I got distracted. Let me turn off my TV real quick.
The Eyes of a Ranger.
Dude, I watch that show every day from 7 to 10. It's amazing. I've been sick all week.
So does my aunt.
Hey, my grandma and I used to watch that shit in the 90s. All right, I had a flashback, okay? So, anyway, Captain America, the films are better than the X-Men trilogy because, one, each Captain America film gets progressively better. Captain America: The First Avenger is a good World War II film. It's not great, but it's still more enjoyable than First Class. First Class is hard to watch for me because I like the 60s dynamic, but I hate the villains. I don't like, what's-her-face, Emma Frost. I'm not interested. I'm not in love with the whole CIA connection, but it's okay. But I do love the missile crisis parts. Then you get to The Winter Soldier, which is a game-changing superhero film. That is better than Days of Future Past, which is a really good film. But Winter Soldier is like head and shoulders better than that. And then you end the X-Men trilogy on a fucking queef with Apocalypse, but you end the Captain America trilogy with the best superhero movie ever, Civil War, which, Dion, you and I were having a discussion the other night about how awesome that fucking movie is.
Shut up.
So, I'm just saying, if we're just talking about single movies alone, like, Captain America is 3 for 3, X-Men is 1.75 out of 3. Like, all of Days of Future Past and a portion of the first and the third movies are good. Second, like actors, the Captain America trilogy has much better actors than the X-Men new trilogy. First off, the new X-Men trilogy is led by Jennifer Lawrence, who I don't know why she's considered a great actress. She's okay to look at. She's not very engaging. Her emotions are kind of bland. Now, on the other hand, we'll just do female leads to female leads. You got Scarlett Johansson. much cooler, much more dynamic, and both their characters fight. I believe what Scarlett Johansson's character does, Black Widow, more than Mystique. Like, all she does is lift her legs up and morph. Like, whatever. That's not that interesting. Rebecca Romaine Stamos did it better. You talk about leads. Michael Fassbender is a very good actor, but you know what? So is Chris Evans. And you have Robert Downey Jr. on top of that shit. Robert Downey Jr. trumps everybody that's been in these X-Men movies. Ian McKellen, his best days are behind him. Patrick Stewart, he showed up for 5 minutes and he wasn't that great. The Avengers these Captain America movies bring everybody. You got Samuel L. Jackson, Paul Rudd, just a breath of great actors, great characters, and they're all bringing their A game. Hugh Jackman doesn't really want to be Wolverine anymore, so he's barely in Apocalypse. And that new cast of Cyclops and Jean Grey and Nightcrawler and Storm are a fucking joke. Like, Jean Grey looks like a fucking potato. She is an ugly chick who can't act. She's awkward. I don't get like the fucking who cast that chick. I don't know who did it. It was a big fucking mistake. Everything about I bought X-Men Apocalypse on Black Friday. I attempted to watch it. I turned it off, and I realized I wasted $8. That is not a good movie. I don't enjoy it. We saw it in theaters, all of us. Laddie, that was your first World Class Bullshitters episode. It was such a letdown from the excellent Days of Future Past. Captain America, just, you leave the theater each time going, holy shit, I can't wait till the next one. Like, when you see those words, Captain America will return, or in this case now, Spider-Man will return, you're excited for the next go. With X-Men, you're like, well, I guess I want to watch an X-Men film that now takes place in the 90s, and they're going to have their traditional costumes. I guess. Oh, the big actors that they had aren't coming back. Oh, well, it's like, I don't know. Seeing a Captain America film is like the last day of school. You're so pumped for it. And seeing an X-Men movie is like your first day back. You're like, well, I'm here. Okay, cool, whatever.
No, I mean, that's definitely not incorrect. But I mean, the one thing I'll say about the X-Men movies is, obviously it's The Rock boxing with God when it comes to Winter Soldier and Civil War, but at least with the X-Men movies, the X-Men movies, they at least, one, they bring in villains that you want to see, and two, that they're a lot more willing to take a risk. So you see a Wolverine, even though he's in First Class for a second, he damn near still steals the show with the patented "fuck off" comment. I mean, that is
the best part of that movie.
That is so true to not only Wolverine, but to how you would assume he would react to joining the X-Men. And then, like I said, then you have Days of Future Past with Quicksilver, who, again, essentially steals the fucking show from the entire cast. And they don't even mention that he's Magneto's dad or son yet. The fact that he, especially that scene where he's in the kitchen and he's running around the room and just moving things out of the way, moving bullets, punching dudes in the face. That scene not only is so cool, but it shows that Quicksilver in Days of Future Past is a lot better than what he was in Avengers 2. I mean, he's obnoxious. He obviously he's a kid. But
I agree with that.
He's the kid that is cool and arguably could take any one of the other X-Men. That part is so fucking cool. And again, I actually like Jennifer Lawrence, but her, being that story of her trying in her mind to save an entire race of people from being eliminated, even when she doesn't know that she's the reason that they become eliminated, is such a compelling story. And again, that scene where she jumps out the window and Magneto bends the fucking bullet down and it hits her in the calf, and she's and this is why I like her a lot. She's portraying that desperation. That scene was very intense when Magneto's like, listen, I gotta fucking kill you. He may be a little wishy-washy, but he's like, listen, you're the reason that we're all gonna fucking die, and I'm gonna kill you. And her trying to crawl away, and Beast coming out and beating the shit. I mean, that's such a great scene. And then again, obviously Apocalypse was kind of a letdown, but people wanted to see Apocalypse. Civil War is a great movie, but we don't, Zemo is the main bad guy. No one really wants to see Zemo, even in Captain America. Yeah, people want, Red Skull was awesome, but it was just, the movie was just, it didn't know if it wanted to be a World War II historical movie or a comic book movie. It was just so, the only really cool scene with the Red Skull in it was when, he first ripped off his face. That was cool, but then he's kind of bleh towards the end of the first Captain America movie. So,
but you're talking about predictable, like, every movie in that trilogy, it's Magneto's good, turns to evil. Magneto's good, turns to evil. Magneto's good, turns to evil. And you talk about the villains, okay. Zemo may have not been the character that people were asking for, but he's the only one to win. Nobody in the X-Men, all of the X-Men win in every movie. We're going to fight Sebastian Shaw. We beat him. We're going to fight the Sentinels in Bolivar Trask. We're going to beat him. They beat him. They beat Apocalypse with a fucking laser blast in the most retarded fucking fashion. And they beat him. Zemo beat the Avengers by getting them to beat themselves. No other superhero movie's doing that shit. People go on about, the Dark Knight, and I'll talk about the Dark Knight later on in this episode. Oh, this and that. Like, Captain America took the blend of realism and comic book action and blended them together and elevated the genre, because X-Men is living in the past, man. The X-Men New Trilogy is just a fragment of the old X-Men saga back when Fox was running shit in the early 2000s, when the Fox movies were the event, when people were actually excited to see those movies. And it's just the last remnants of a really sad and dying franchise. Like I said earlier, I know personally, and all you guys too, are pumped to see where these other Marvel movies go. I don't think any of us are like sitting down going, oh my god, are they going to fight Mr. Sinister in the next X film? Like, holy shit, like, I can't wait. No one gives a fuck about Mr. Sinister. No one gives a fuck about 90% of the X-Men villains. Like, they look cool. I mean, are we going to really be pumped to see Omega Red in a movie? Not really. Like, the best X thing ever is Deadpool, and it's making fun of the X-Men films.
Okay, you're talking about the best things of each other's films as well as your own. What is one thing... Because you've both said that X-Men could be better. What is one thing that they could do to improve the X-Men? Other than, Fox dropping it and letting Marvel do it.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'd say, first off, I'd follow in Deadpool's footsteps. Make it violent. Make it gritty. I want to see...
Make it rated R?
I wouldn't say rated R. I'd say a hard PG-13. Show...
How much harder can you get, though, from the current X films? There's decapitations, mutilations, they say fuck.
They use their
like,
one fuck.
There's crotch shots from Olivia Munn, which I would love to see more of. I'll give you that. Your trilogy wins on beautiful women's crotches, because Olivia Munn's is all out in the open. And I will pay $10 to watch a movie of Psylocke squat. Just do a set of 10 constantly. I will pay to see that movie. I'll never get tired of it. I'm like, did a lip pop out? Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I just gotta keep watching. But like, realistically, that's all I as a fan of that loves comic book movies, that's all I see you having an advantage of. And you talk about wanting to make it more hard, like, where do you go? Like, it's pretty gritty already. Like, it deals with Nazis and, children getting killed on camera. Like, it's funny, and this applies to both of us. For everyone that goes, oh, comic book movies are all for kids, and the DC ones are all realistic and gritty. What the fuck are you watching? Are you retarded? Right. Seriously, these fucking Marvel movies, Fox and Marvel Studios proper, are blowing your shitty DC films out of the water. Oh, Suicide Squad's dark and gritty. No, it's fucking retarded. You have a chick with a chicken ass and fucking hot pants and high heels fighting monsters with a bat when a dude that can turn into fucking fire is on a team. Like, what is she good for? Fucking nothing. Alright? Suicide Squad is bullshit.
The shittiest Marvel movie is better than any of the DC films.
Are we talking DCEU or any DC film? Because I would disagree with the
DCU.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm cool with that. Yeah, like...
The Dark Knight movies are pretty fucking good.
Am I going to say Fan Fourstick is better than Suicide Squad?
I agree, Dion.
I like the Dark Knight ones. We'll talk about this later, man. I got a couple questions I want to ask you guys. But back to your topic, Phil. What would I do to improve upon it? I would stop having each film be the same formula. New X-Men, this happens, team, boom, done. I would build on a fucking story. Like, so we beat Apocalypse, we beat the Sentinels, something else. I would have more government interference with mutants, kind of do another political drama, but I wouldn't... I'd bring in Henry Gyrick, and I'd bring back the Sentinel program, and I'd have it be more than, like, 1 or 2 Sentinels fighting in Washington. I would have, like, the Sentinels attack. And I would make it, like, I would have more X-Men, and I would fragment the team. So instead of taking, like, Professor X and 5 X-Men to, like, Cairo, Egypt to fight, I'd have, like, 5 in Cairo, 10 here. I'd go to the fucking Savage Land down under. Like, obviously down under, I mean Antarctica, not Australia. I would go there. I would do those type of things. I would open it up because X-Men, it's like the movies franchise only represents 10% of what X-Men has. Go to the other 90%.
So they've done 3 films in both timelines for the X-Men. The 3 originals and then the 3 of the current cast. At this point, do you recast? Do you start over? I mean, I know the stories blend together. That was the point of it. I mean,
that's a good question.
Obviously, if Marvel regained the rights, they would have to recast, right?
No, not necessarily. I think that shit. You know what?
Because I mean, look at Spider-Man. You know, we're on a 3rd generation of Spider-Man now that they've completely recast it and.
Yeah, they fucked that up. They should honestly.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was in Amazing Spider-Man was an even bigger crash than fucking the X-Men. But
yeah, they should have just had Spider-Man 3 as a continuation into Iron Man, and
right.
Had I've been a hero for 5 years and have Tobey Maguire instead of a child. It would have been much more interesting to see Spider-Man appear randomly during the Battle of New York than this bullshit. That would have been honestly, if I could change one thing about comic book movies, it would be that Spider-Man 3 would still exist. Spider-Man 3 would be the same, and Spider-Man would go away and remain dormant until the Avengers, and he would pop up in the Avengers. He would never have been in a trailer. There would have never been any merchandise for him, anything. He would have literally, in the middle of the battle, when something was about to go down, and you think, I don't know, Hawkeye's fallen from a building about to die. Boom! Fucking here comes Spider-Man swinging in on a web. The crowd would go nuts, and all of a sudden, every question you ever had is answered. We've already seen the Spider-Man movies. He's already existed. But whatever, sorry. I'm getting excited about a fictional world that'll never exist.
I'm about to say, calm down, Eric Bischoff. You over here getting real worked up.
Hey, you know what? Eric Bischoff made WCW great. Yeah, it crashed and burned like my dream.
He murdered it. He
made it do something. He made millions of dollars. I'll take something.
The only thing I will say to that to shut that down is this is the same Eric Bischoff that did a segment with fucking Hulk Hogan seeing Ultimate Warrior in the mirror. We all could see Ultimate Warrior in the fucking mirror, and he couldn't fucking see it. That was the dumbest goddamn shit in the world. And the fact that you have Eric Bischoff, who, again, great mind for wrestling, whatever, but even he's looking at Hulk, he's going, what's the... And he starts fucking smiling because he knows how dumb that segment is. Undoes everything you just said.
Katie Vick.
Why he's fucking a piece of shit.
Katie Vick, okay? Triple H dressed up as your favorite wrestler, Kane, and fucked a mannequin's brains out. Point null.
Good point. But to answer, to go in more depth what I was saying, Phil, about your question, I wouldn't recast. What I would do is I would announce that you're doing 2 more X-Men movies, and when I say gritty, I'd say instead of going for the big budget, make a bunch of money for 20th Century Fox because you've pissed way too much in this bed. I'd go to try and make it bloody like Deadpool. I mean, actually make this shit make it like a Paul Verhoeven type movie. Try to turn it into a fucking cult classic and make it. And I'm saying make it just stick with it and then don't touch it for another 15, 20 years or something. Just go balls to the walls. You can do Second Son. You can do another. You could do another Sentinel attack. You could do even do you can go into X-Force. Do something crazy with it.
That'd be
Make it a cult classic movie, and then just let it simmer for a couple of years so people can appreciate the last 2 movies you do, and then reboot it.
You know what they're doing though? They're here's my problem with Apocalypse. We get 1 movie with Jean Grey, and we're already at the Dark Phoenix saga. Seriously. God damn it, people. You need to fucking learn patience. I can at least give the Amazing Spider-Man franchise that they didn't jump into the fucking symbiote right away, whatever. This X-Men franchise is hey, Dark Phoenix, we can redo that storyline. Why? You gotta at least establish Jean Grey. All you established was a redhead that looks like a potato that's a cunt. She's not interesting. So when she turns to the dark side, I don't give a fuck. Oh, she's now evil. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Now, if in Star Wars Episode 8, Luke Skywalker becomes a Sith, then I'm invested because it's 40 fucking years of, oh my god, finally something big has happened. No, this chick just pops up, I've had these dreams, I see fire, I defeat the villain with fire. Fuck, guys. Come on. All you keep doing is the same shit over and over. Fine, X-Men Apocalypse 2 or whatever the fuck the next one's gonna be. Set it in the 90s, no Dark Phoenix. fight Sentinels and shit like that. Basically, just make an X-Men cartoon movie, put the fucking theme song in it, get Stan Lee to narrate a part of it, and you got $1 billion movie.
I know
Nostalgia.
This is not the debate, but Jeff, you put that question in my head. If Luke Skywalker turned out to be a Sith in Episode 8, would that save it for you?
Hell no.
No, I'd be pissed as fuck. Come on, man. Luke Skywalker's the Jedi Knight's Jedi Knight. He's supposed to be like the unbreakable Jedi. Like, he went through the shit. Like, his trial was to kill his father.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense, because if he's just gonna turn, like, you'd have to do something so crazy to make him turn into a Sith. Because his students got murdered, he ignored his twin sister needing his help. Fucking Han got fucking killed by his kid, and he didn't turn. Like, what can you do to make him turn to a Sith? It would have to be crazy. Like, it would have to be like, Uncle Ben and Anna were fucking brought back to life and then murdered again. Like, it'd have to be something fucking crazy to make him turn into a Sith.
You mean Uncle Owen?
Or Uncle Uncle Ben?
Yeah, it's like Uncle Ben is Spidey, man.
Fucking Uncle Owen.
Minute Rice.
Oh, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru. They're toasty.
One more question about X-Men. Do you think all the side stories that are coming out, like they did the Wolverines and they're doing the Gambit, do you think those are hurting the X-Men films or the X-Men franchise?
No. I mean...
They're
the Wolverine movies are kind of terrible.
Well, the Wolverine's not that bad. We'll wait to see when Logan comes out. But the best thing I can say about Origins Wolverine is that it pushed Deadpool into happening, because it was just so bad, and Ryan Reynolds was just so he was just so committed to making that movie that it happened. So I mean, that's the fucking one thing. I mean, even though we had fucking Will.I.am in it, I mean, we at least got Deadpool out of the mix.
I saw X-Men Origins Wolverine like the last week of our sophomore year at college, and I took Dustin and Amy, and it was just a shit show.
No, I took Hillary, Garrett, and I think
probably Haley.
Probably Haley went, and we were all just like, and I was just so mad, and Hillary just kept asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Because she knew it was a bad movie, knew how excited I was about it, and I was just like, that's fucking bullshit.
I just went back to the dorm room and had sex, and I was okay. I didn't think about the movie ever again. I don't think I've ever watched it.
And then
I don't think I've ever watched it again.
Yeah, and then First Class came out, and I was like, what the I mean, no, that's not what I thought. I mean, I love these movies.
See, you showed your hand. I mean, look, we'll end this debate because this is getting kind of long in the tooth. I'll just say this, though. I don't think anyone's really attacked the Captain America trilogy. We've almost just talked exclusively why X-Men sucks and how it needs to get better. So I'm just going to use that as my closing statement. Captain America is the best superhero trilogy to date. You start good and you end phenomenally. And the best part is it ain't over. Like The Dark Knight ended, Spider-Man ended. Those movies had a finite ending. With Captain America and all these other Marvel movies, they bleed into each other, which is nice because we know that Captain America is going to come back in Infinity War, and his story of his secret Avengers hiding out in Wakanda and Bucky and all that good stuff is going to be resolved. Like, it's not like a trilogy that's like, well, this is the end of Captain America, and he rode off into the sunset with Agent 13 or whatever. No. This was a great chapter in Captain America, and he's coming back, and there's going to be more. And none of these movies have sucked, so I'm just going to go on a limb and say the next one's going to be great, too.
So here's my question before we move on. Wasn't Captain America technically supposed to die in Civil War?
They're not going off the comic book, so obviously...
Yeah, I know. It's disheartening.
And the reason they did that, obviously, in the comic book was to lead into Secret Invasion. So, and they're clearly not doing that. They're building for Infinity War, so...
How crazy would that be, though, if, like, behind our backs... Fox and Marvel worked out a deal and they started planting Skrulls in the universe.
Dude, that'd be fucking crazy. Like if you
okay, for example, fucking Steve Rogers gets killed in the first chapter of Infinity War, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it shows his body laying there dead, and then he starts to turn green and it ends, and you're like, what? And then it just ends. Like there's no end credits, there's no nothing.
See, the only thing about that is
the next movie comes back.
I wouldn't do Captain America. I would do like.
Well, I'm just picking somebody randomly that would care that
Black
they
Widow
died.
or someone. I'd do like Black Widow or even like have like make Bucky a Skrull. Like say like he went and they got him, then the Skrull came and like switched him out in the night or some shit like that. Because if you do Captain America, because Captain America was so fucking awesome in the movies that there's no Skrull that could do that. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be believable that a Skrull could beat Iron Man with his bare fucking hands and then save his buddy. Like a Skrull would just get his shit smashed.
How fucking amazing is that scene when he overtakes Iron Man and he just fucking is beating him to shit with his shield and then breaks the thing in his chest and just leaves him there? Like, that's fucking phenomenal. It's
great. I fucking love it. I just love too, like, just that whole, from the moment when they pull up the video and Tony sees that it was his parents and like he just, and we talk about this ad nauseum when he's just like, did you know, Rogers? And he goes, hey, he's like, no, cut the shit that you, and then they start fighting and he's fucking punching Iron Man, and then he's like, get his pattern, and then Tony goes, let's kick his ass, and then fucking Bucky grabs the arc and he blows Bucky's arms off, and then they're fighting in slow motion, and you're just like, who's gonna win? And Black Panther's like, I ain't gonna kill you, motherfucker, and they do the Ultimate Alliance beam to the shield thing. It's just so fucking cool. God, I love that.
And the part where he goes, you killed my mom, or he killed my mom, I was like, oh shit. Like,
and then when he has him in the headlock and he's like, do you even remember them? And Bucky's like, I remember all of them. And then they fall down the fucking silo. God, that's so cool.
That was
Silo Johnson.
My question, I've read in a couple articles that some people were disappointed that nobody died. Should somebody have died in that?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. This
not
like
even
the internet.
Who would you kill? That's my question to them. Anyone that says someone should have died, who would you kill?
Kill them all.
I thought the Iron Patriot should have died.
No,
I think
the point of him getting injured is because the point of him being injured is so that he starts putting shit in his body. Like that's why he got injured in this movie, because that's what happens in the comic book. Like they have to keep some of it true to the original source, and he gets injured so that they can start saying that he's more machine than man. That's why he's motherfucking War Machine.
No, I think the internet, being the echo chamber that it is, ruins a lot of stuff because you get like one source, like a Chris Hardwick or something, that somebody puts something out there, and then all of a sudden it starts kind of like reaching other people, and it becomes like this fact or like this general internet ideals, like the whole Green Goblin Power Ranger costume. Like back in 2002, no one said it looks like a Power Ranger suit. They're just like, oh, they didn't like it or they liked it, whatever. And you just get these these theories or these ideas. Thankfully, Marvel doesn't listen to that shit. I'm so happy that no one died in Civil War. No one needed to die. It would have ruined the effect of the movie. Like, because the whole thing is, they fought, they broke up, and now a greater threat needs to appear for them to rejoin, And each character has been wronged, so now they're going to have to learn to trust each other again in the next one. And that's a whole new layer of depth that these DC movies and other comic book movies just don't have. And plus, other movies don't have.
Yeah, and the other reason why killing someone would have been dumb is because, the thing about superhero teams in comic books is that they're all friends. So they wrong each other, they do dumb things, they switch teams, they become evil, and the fact that they're friends makes them get past that shit. So it's a better story to have, Iron Man essentially go to his old friends and forget his new friends, and they get a little jealous about it, but he's trying to save his friend, and he's saying, I can't ignore a situation, but in the process, he hurts one of his closest friends whose dad admired him. And then in the next movie, there's a great threat, but they're fucking friends. And especially at the end of Civil War, Jeff, you just mentioned different layers. Steve appreciates, he keeps Tony as his friend. He sends a fucking recording where he apologizes, or writes him a letter where he apologizes. And he says, listen, man, I was wrong. I didn't mean to hurt you. Blah, 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 blah. And, and Tony, who's so angry, he mentioned the whole therapeutic thing at the beginning of the movie, you see his face soften. And they're, he's mad at it's like being mad at your family. They fucked up. They hurt my feelings. I'm a little butthurt. But, at the end of the day, I'm stronger because of them. And that's why killing them, that story's a lot better than, oh, fuck, man, Bucky got killed. And who can you kill? You can't even kill Black Widow because, she stood up to fucking Captain America so they can get away. Like, you can't just kill her for that shit. Like, that's a huge emotional character development thing that, she learns. She worked so hard in the previous two movies to get him, not previous two, but in, the previous movies to get Captain America to trust her, and she stands up to him. That's a huge fucking point for a character.
No,
and then
I
you're gonna ruin that.
understand.
And then it turns out she was a fucking double agent the whole time.
No,
Boom.
I understand, and I'm not, I know I'm not saying somebody should.
No, I'm not saying it to you.
I'm just saying it for the sake, for the sake of argument, for the sake of this show. One of my other questions.
You could have killed off Aunt May.
Yeah, but I want to fuck her so bad though.
One of my other questions would be, after Infinity Wars, after it's all said and done and they kill Thanos, is that the end of the MCU?
No, they have more movies planned, but I'll tell you this, it's the end of the MCU that I give a fuck about. I don't need to see Ms. Marvel 12 and Spider-Man 19. It's like, the stories are over. I'll catch them, but I'm not going to be... I sit down every once in a while and think about, what's going to happen in Infinity War. After that's over, I won't care anymore.
They have to do something really big. Like, they have to do, like, Secret Invasion or World War Hulk or Dark Reign or something.
Well, World War Hulk's going to be tied in with the new Thor movie.
Well, that's going to be Ragnarok more than World War Hulk, because it's just going to be the two of them.
Yeah, but the Hulk stuff's supposed to be like more in line with that.
Oh, okay.
Because once you kind of take elements from one story, you can't go back and retell that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
It'd be like if in DC they try to do the death of Superman again or something. They'd be like, what? So I guess that's our debate for this week. Listeners, in the comments section below, tell us what you thought, who you thought won. What do you like more? And I hope you all pick Captain America for the movie you like the more, because X-Men is horseshit underneath it all.
Like the more.
All right, so tonight's main feature is just a continuation of our debate, and this is stuff Loudy and Phil can jump in on. But in my opinion, I think that 2016 is arguably the best year for superhero films. Yeah, you had two of the worst, but you've also had a few of the best. Dare I say the best one, and two other incredibly amazing ones. So, we're going to talk about the year in superhero films, what came out, what didn't come out, and what was a piece of shit. So, first movie that came out this year in the comic book genre was Deadpool. Everyone loved it, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Dion, did you buy it on Black Friday?
I did not. I saw that it was because it was on sale, but it was only on DVD. One, and then two, I bought. Oh, that's the other thing I bought. I bought Spectre for $9 on Blu-ray instead.
Nice. Where at?
Meyer. Meyer had a bunch of fucking.
I was gonna say Best Buy had it for $3.99.
Really? God damn.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Fuck.
And they also had the Steelbook James Bond Blu-ray movies for $5.99.
I saw that, but I was like, I'll just get this one and round it out for right now. And I think in a couple of years I'll get, if they come out with another format or some shit, I'll probably get it then.
I love the Blu-rays. It doesn't really matter to you because the DVDs I gave you are the 4K scanned.
Yeah, those are the
DVDs.
high definition ones, yeah.
Yeah, so it's only going to be a slight improvement, but oh my god.
Plus,
James
back,
Bond,
especially in the mid thousands, fucking MGM spent a lot of money remastering those, so those can last. Those are going to last for a while.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever remaster those movies again. Because they were mastered in 4K, and they went and cleaned up every frame of film and shit. So, I mean, I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. So, were you guys surprised that Deadpool was as good as it was, or did you see it coming?
I wasn't sure what to expect, personally. I mean, I went into the movie not really knowing much about Deadpool as it was. But... so it was, I guess in a way it was kind of good for me not knowing what to expect and just to be that impressed, to be like, not having this expectation at all, really, I guess, helped me as a viewer.
I was excited ever since that they released that test footage. Or not, they didn't release it, it got fucking stolen and someone released it.
Like 4 years before the film got made?
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, it's going to be really good, especially with Ryan Reynolds, like, continuously talking about it. At this point, I was like, this is not only his last comic book movie, and he wouldn't be so excited about it if he didn't believe in it. So I knew it was going to be pretty good. What I didn't know was just how goddamn good it was going to be. Especially the fact that essentially outside of, like, Captain America, he's the only comic book character in film that stayed true to who he hasn't, like, had any major developments. Like, or major arc changes. especially at the end after fucking Colossus is going on and on and on, he just still shoots the fucking guy in the head, and makes him fucking start puking. That's hilarious. Plus, my favorite line, he beats the shit out of Ajax, and he's like, "What's my name?" And he goes, "Who gives a shit?" And goes to shoot him in the face. That's hilariously awesome.
I love when he's trying to kick the shit out of Colossus. Your poor wife.
What was it? You ever see a one-legged man and a ass whooping or something like that? When his fucking legs broken and shit?
Do you have an off switch? Yeah, it's right next to the prostate. Or is that the on switch for you?
Hey, there we go. It's me, Margaret. He cuts his hand off. There's so many jokes in that movie that hit constantly. And the coolest part is how much everyone cares about, the producers, the director, all those people, how much they were invested in that movie. And I think that's why it turned out, because the studio didn't give a fuck. You had all these people that wanted to make it. They had no interference, and look what they made. They made one of the all-time great.
They gave it a shitty budget, too. They really didn't care.
See, that's the one thing about shitty budgets that I'll say is good, because they're doing the same thing for 2. So that is really going to fucking put them in the pressure cooker, and it worked for this movie. I mean, it's probably, if you'd have done the same thing for Wolverine's Origins, they wouldn't have been like, hey, let's recycle fucking characters in these X-Men movies, if they had only had money to do so much with so little.
Yeah.
I'm worried, though, that the second one's going to suck ass.
See, I have faith. This is probably going to be, this and Logan are going to, they're putting a lot of fucking bank behind this, saving the franchise. So, the other side of that blade is, obviously, if it's successful, they're going to keep fucking making X-Men movies, which kind of sucks, but I'm excited to see Cable in it. I really am.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay positive.
Well, I mean, you know me. I wasn't a fan of Deadpool whatsoever. I don't really care for him that much, but this movie was fucking awesome. I went in there going, oh, this is going to be dumb, and idiots are going to quote it, and blah, blah, blah. But the jokes were smart. They weren't like, hey, chimichanga, fart joke, dildo, something,
There were a lot of penis jokes, though.
Yeah, Dustin's favorite movie of the year. No, the thing is, the movie was raunchy, but it wasn't just... It was raunchy as shit, but it wasn't, to me, overly raunchy. It was actually funny, and it worked within the context of the character and the context of the film. And, I was very, very happy with it. I'm glad to own it.
It was a great film, in and out. You could tell they took their time with the script. They thought it out. And like Jeff said, he said some of the jokes. I think all the jokes hit. There wasn't a joke in that film that I didn't laugh at.
Like when he says cock juggler or something a few times, I was just like, okay, it was funny the first time, and then going back and watching, I'm like, oh well, it's a little predictable, but like.
Well, then fucking what's her name, Supersonic. I'm a bitch. I'm Sinead O'Connor. Like the whole her being a kid thing, and like you're old, like that pissed me because I'm just like, kids don't talk like that. Like kids get fucking Sinead O'Connor jokes, and then she's on her like the whole her on her phone thing was so out of place. Like no one's gonna go into a fucking fight and be tweeting. Like that's like if Joel wrote a movie and he was like, I gotta say millennials in this fucking movie. I'm gonna use this joke. We'd be like, Joel, take that the fuck out of the movie, you idiot.
I was just say that was my one down point about the movie. Because I gave it a 9 out of 10. That'd be the one thing that bothered me. I didn't like her. I didn't like the character. I didn't like the casting. I didn't like her at all.
Plus, Colossus was way bigger than like. Just get a dude from Last Stand. Like clearly, either Colossus has been bench pressing continents, or you just forgot how big he was in the last movie he was in. Like that was just so obnoxious.
I'll tell you this: that movie would have won up a whole point if they didn't obscure Gina Carano's tits. Like if they would have just showed the titty pop out.
Oh yeah,
I would have been very happy.
Yeah.
Because you know me, the more tits, the higher the rating. Like if you just showed me a movie of Christina Hendricks bouncing on a fucking exercise ball naked for 2 hours, greatest movie of my life, 10 out of 10. I'll see it 10 times. I'll see it in IMAX 10 times because I want to see titties the size of my house. Like
what a great story.
I know, right? And you'd be there with me the whole time, dude.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Shit, there ain't a bad thing about that time.
Are we going to see the 7 o'clock showing or the 10 o'clock showing?
Every show. I'm not leaving the theater. I'm just going to hold up I'm here for the night.
Jeff bought season tickets.
They do a news story about me. Yeah, the guy that won't leave the theater. Look at the tits! That's all I'll say to the news. So, that was pretty much Deadpool. So what was next? Was it Civil War? Was that... No. Batman v Superman was next.
Yeah.
God, that was...
God damn. That was March.
God.
That wasted.
I thought it was like last year.
No, it was March of this year. I think that's a movie we all want to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so Dion, you and I are the big comic book fans of the podcast. Even, if Joel was here, he would be in that discussion too. But you and I grew up on Marvel and DC. We were reading comics, watching cartoons, movies, buying the toys, eating the cereals, wearing the boxer shorts.
Fuck yeah.
We were pretty much like even, we were equal opportunity comic book readers. It wasn't all about Marvel or it wasn't all about DC. It was pretty much, an even blend. But man, this movie... It's the only movie that I can't sit down to watch anymore. Like, I physically hate it.
When we watched, when you guys did a drunk commentary of Batman Superman, I was so mad about not doing the drunk commentary podcast more than watching the movie again. Because the movie, when you make a movie based on a very famous storyline, and the animated movie that came out 10 years prior is way fucking better, you need to look at your lifestyle and make for some fucking changes. Because that movie...
Are you talking about the cartoon from 20 years ago?
No, the Superman Doomsday animated movie. It was like 2005.
Oh, that one. I thought you were thinking of World's Finest from the animated series.
No. Fucking... Superman Doomsday was just like, if you want to see that be cool, watch that movie. Because Batman Superman was so shit. And the bad thing was, that first trailer, man, I saw it and I was like, oh, so Doomsday's the twist. And I did feel good when I tweeted his WCBS at Ben Affleck when he had that sponsored tweet. I'm like, yeah, we know who fucking wins Ben because we saw the fucking trailer. Doomsday's there. Fuck off.
That trailer, it told you the whole story and plotline. It was like, what the fuck were you thinking with that?
It was bad.
And then that was the sad part, is people still went and saw it.
Yeah.
It's like guessing what someone got you for Christmas and then finding out it's going to be super fucking shitty, but you have to get it anyway because you know they're going to get it to you.
And I know that some people were like, so wasn't that bad? It's the comic book. So you mean to tell me that you watched that movie and you didn't have any questions? You didn't point out. You didn't go through any plot holes. You sat there and you just watched a commercial for DC, and you're okay with that? Please go fuck yourself in the street. You need to fuck yourself in the street and get away from
I didn't have any questions about the movie after I saw the trailer. I saw everything I needed to see.
It was just so bad. God damn it. Fuck you, DC. God, fuck you.
Fuck you, Zack Snyder.
Well, I mean, you were talking about people that saw the trailer and then went and saw the movie. I don't have a problem with people seeing the movie just in case it's different, because, that's normally the case, but I have a problem with people defending this piece of shit, saying how great it is, how smart it is. The funny part is, a lot, and I know you're not going to like this comparison, Dion, but a lot like the Hillary Clinton campaign of 2016.
No, you're 100% right.
They shit on the people that don't agree with it. You're not smart enough to get Batman v Superman. You're a sexist or a homophobe if you don't like Hillary Clinton. Like, people don't want to be talked down to. So, they're going to adversely affect whatever the outcome of that, the desired outcome of that party's interest is. So, Batman v Superman people are like, oh, this is the smartest movie, you just don't get it, like, you don't understand the connection of Martha. No, motherfucker, you don't understand that the biggest fight between the two biggest superheroes ever ends with the guy going, save Martha! Why'd you say that name? Nothing epic. Like, okay, Iron Man and Captain America fought over the death of his parents to a degree. That was fucking incredible, and it ends with you going like, holy shit, like, they have gone over the bridge and burnt that motherfucker. There's no turning back. Batman v Superman's like, Martha! What? Oh, she's in that building. No one's gonna die tonight on my watch. They're just best friends. They're super friends right after that shit. It's
literally
3 hours later,
Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Instead of Derek, it's Martha. He's a bigger asshole than you.
And then especially like you watch that movie and you realize 3 hours later, the guy who he was going to fucking murder, by the way, he's like, well, I don't want. What do you say? He's like, oh, I don't want. I want to do it in his image, or I don't want to let him down now that he's dead. It's like, fuck you. Like, you were going to kill him, and all of a sudden, now you're like, I owe him. I owe this man. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, that man an ass whooping.
But, like, why not just do The Dark Knight Returns? Like, fucking, just, it could have been an anthology movie. Like, just do it to where you have Batman kill the Joker, and then they fight in Crime Alley, and fucking fuck, man.
Don't you touch my drum set, Superman.
It's okay, my drum set's a guy makes you gay, you fucker.
I'm gonna put my kryptonite on your fucking drum set.
Superman's drum set is the fucking, like, Arctic Circle. It just pounds the shit out of it. He's the person to blame for global warming.
No, it's just like one small drum in that fucking glass pod from Superman 2, and he goes in it and it closes and it like takes away his powers and he plays the drums and then it gives him his powers back and he's like, hey, I'm in a band.
You know what this movie lacked? Cellophane S's being ripped off chests and thrown.
I know, right? God damn it.
On my planet, S is a symbol for hope.
Yeah,
Hope
you know what?
starts with an H, stupid.
That's the other
That
thing,
was
and it's
the
like,
beginning
no,
of the end.
that's the house of fucking L. You fucking, I hate you. I hate you, Zack. I'm still gonna kick your ass when I see you, too. I don't care. I'm gonna kick your ass.
And I will be there to film it for World Star.
Just like fucking, like,
World Star.
It means hope on my planet. No, it's just the house of L, bro. Like, everybody has a goddamn symbol, man. Like,
I've gone back to watch Man of Steel. It's not as bad as I remember, but oh god,
it's so meh. It's so fucking meh.
I enjoyed Man of Steel.
We know,
Phil. You've been telling us for the last 3 years.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you again. I'm gonna tell you next week, and I'm gonna tell you when your grandma dies.
You know, Phil, you need to watch Superman 2, and then you'll be like, you know what?
I've seen them all.
I deserve to kill my grandma because I was wrong about liking Man of Steel because they just remade.
I've seen them all, and both my grandmas are dead. So fuck you.
Well, wake them back
down,
up
you've already
and then
proved your
kill them
point.
again.
I don't have any grandparents left. They're all gone.
Show them, reanimate him, show him Man of Steel and BVS, and watch them kill themselves.
They're all gone.
Suffer the pain a second time, motherfucker.
I've seen all the original Supermans actually. My aunt is a vivid fan of Superman, so
they're not very good.
She loved them all. So I sat through them several times.
The Quest for Peace is a terrible film.
It's by far one of the worst superhero movies of all time.
It's worse than Batman v Superman. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, the best one's Superman 2, then Superman 1, then I guess Man of Steel, then Superman 3, then BVS, then Superman Returns. No, Superman Returns, then BVS, then Quest for Peace.
See, I'd put Superman Returns at least above 3, because 3 was just, hey,
I love it, Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, Superman got together.
Yeah, but Superman 3 actually has some really cool fucking scenes, like that part where he flies over the lake and he freezes it with his breath, and then he picks up the ice and drops it over that chemical fire. Like, he actually does shit. In Superman Returns, he, like, oh my god, he lifts a kryptonite planet, and then he falls into the sun and falls like Jesus and fights on the third day he rises. Fuck, that whole movie's lame.
But
like,
Kevin
Bryan
Spacey
Singer, you're a
was Lex
fucking
Luthor,
idiot.
bro. Kevin fucking Spacey.
Did it save the movie?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying Kevin
Wrong!
Luthor. I didn't say it saved the movie.
No, look, Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor was a great choice. Brandon Routh was a good choice to Superman. He was a little too thin, but he looked enough like Christopher Reeve that I could kind of just like overlook that Christopher Reeve was in a wheelchair. Well, he was dead at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He had died.
He died in 2004, right? Okay, so he was. I overlooked the fact that he was dead, super dead. But Superman 3, while it has many, many problems, it has some redeeming things. It's
Clark Kent
it's got
as
some
Superman
great
in the
moments.
junkyard was really fucking cool.
Yeah, and that part, I even like the part where he's at the bowling alley and the little kid's having that shitty time and he goes, achoo, and blows the bowling ball into the fucking lane. At the end of the lane, it explodes. He's like, sorry
And then he
about
just
that.
randomly fucking fucks the chick and then just leaves. Like, you're just like, God damn, Superman.
Or the part where Lana Lang like cooks dinner for Superman and he actually shows up. Like, what the fuck? Or when Richard Pryor comes to town and he's that fake military general.
Yeah.
He's like, there's a great man named Superman who needs to be blah, blah, blah as a token of our appreciation. And he gives him that fake kryptonite.
Yeah.
And I think my ultimate favorite part is when Richard Pryor goes to that computer center and tries to get in, and he opens up that case of booze, and the guy lets him in, and he's wearing that big fucking cowboy hat,
Yep.
and they get shit-faced together. That movie's way better than you remember.
It is. And then him just sitting at a bar being a complete dick and just flicking the peanuts into the glass, and you just want to be like,
bullets?
Superman, you're being and he has like his head's in his hand, and he's just like, and breaking the glass, just being a complete fucking dick.
Do you think it takes Superman more drinks than me to get drunk?
No, because the fact that you can puke and not spill it anywhere, Superman could not drink with us. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, like Superman gets angry and breaks shit. I just get really happy.
Exactly, and then you pass out and snore like a wildebeest.
Oh my god, Phil knows. I passed out in this car on the way home from Indiana.
Yeah, he did.
All right,
I think he was asleep before we even got down the road.
Yeah, before you left that first street, I was like, oh, and then I woke up and we were at your house. It was the best car ride I've ever been in.
Shortest too, probably.
Hey,
Yeah,
I don't even remember it.
and Dan put his penis in your ear twice.
Dan doesn't have a dick. Come on, don't lie to me. Don't bullshit me.
He's dickless.
All right, so after the shitstorm that was BVS, a few weeks later, we were given, like I said, in my opinion, the greatest comic book film of this year, and I'm going to say of all time. Civil War. Now, this is where I wanted to ask you a serious question. Where do you rank Civil War among every comic book movie ever made? Like, is this the best one for you guys? What do you like more than Civil War?
Ooh.
Jesus. You gotta come up with those questions before we do this.
Well, here's the thing. I sat down in preparation for this and watched The Dark Knight this morning. Good movie, not as great as everyone else says it is.
It is.
And when you watch it, watch it come back to back with Civil War. Just completely, it's not as engaging.
So you're saying it's the greatest comic book film of all time?
Yeah, Civil War's way better. Dude, I put like many movies over The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight is vastly overrated. I think Batman Begins alone is better.
I wasn't talking about The Dark Knight. Because you're an avid fan of Spider-Man 2.
Well, Phil, you should have watched our Let's Rank Marvel films because you would have seen that Spider-Man 2 was not number one.
It's in my playlist.
It's 7 minutes and 35 seconds. You should watch it tomorrow.
I have a life.
Not that busy. Believe me, your video games can wait for 8 minutes. While you nuke a pot pie, you can listen to it. You could listen to it while you take a shit. There's music.
I gotta concentrate when I shit.
You.
Don't even know what
Well, we know that ain't true because you drank a bunch of fucking root beer and passed out, so that shit ain't true.
Did he ever tell you the time he passed out during WrestleMania 29?
No.
What?
Yeah. He thought he was dying, right, Phil?
Say that again. You're cutting out.
No, when you were at WrestleMania, or when you were watching WrestleMania 29 at B-Dubs, you thought you were dying or whatever?
Oh yeah, that was before the show even started. I had it was at least eight or 10 Jack and Cokes before we even went to B-Dubs.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, that was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I thought I was dying.
And then you watched WrestleMania 29 and wished you had died.
Yeah.
Dude, I was there. It was shit, okay? That's the second worst WrestleMania I've ever attended.
What was the worst?
27.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad. Yeah. Ugh. Poor.
That was the one where I lived with you, Dion. I said, well, I'll be back in a week. I'm going off to WrestleMania.
I remember just watching it and being like, this is the main event, huh? Thanks, WWE.
So, what now... Phil, you were with me when we saw Civil War, and you were blown away like I was. Loudy, you weren't there, were you?
Civil War, I wasn't there, but I saw it.
Okay, so Loudy and Dion, what were your reactions after leaving that theater?
I had to go stand underneath the hand dryer in the bathroom because I pissed myself because of how awesome it was.
Good man.
I fucking
Don't lie,
we went and saw it opening night. It was Hillary, my sister, and myself. We went to the little pub in Eastwood, the town center there. You know, the NCG theater.
Yeah, dude, we've seen many a film there.
Yep. And there's like a little pub within
2.
walking distance of it, and we went there, got a bunch of drinks, and then walked over. And oh my god, it was amazing. Especially, like I said, man, it's like 99.9% a perfect movie. I have to fucking sometimes recuse myself when talking about it because I love it so fucking. It's everything about comic books, comic book movies, comic book anything in a movie. It's awesome. It's not me sucking Marvel's dick, but for this movie, I would pull a Dustin, and I totally suck Marvel's dick.
Dude, when I watched it on Blu-ray the other day, I almost fucking cheered at the end. Like, that movie is that good. Like, I'm not trying to be funny when I say it. I've seen tons of movies. I've seen every comic book movie that's out there. This definitely is just so much better, and it's not even featuring my favorite character. Well, Spider-Man's in it for like a minute, but he's not even the best part of that movie.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
The end where Captain America and Iron Man fight in the Siberian base right from the part where Zemo shows the video till the end of the film is my favorite part. I like the whole Munich or wherever they were at airport scene. That was cool, but that was like that was the scene for the kids and the stupid people, and the character plot shit was all, or the character-driven plot stuff was all in that end scene, and that's what I've been waiting for. That's the shit. That's why I gravitate towards these movies, because it's 8-year-long narratives finally coming to a close. Like, that's the shit that is interesting to me. Not, oh my god, he turned giant and Spider-Man swung around his legs like an AT-AT walker. Like, whatever.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with that shit. There was so much to love about that movie, especially like, you know, even as a comic book fan, you're like, oh shit, they're talking about registration, you know, and then you have fucking, you know, the only thing I'll say, and this is just me coming up with something to talk about, but Alfred Woodward, her ending up in Luke Cage, I can't look at her being the mom the same, because obviously she's such a bitch in Luke Cage, and I'm just like, it's bugging me, but that I could easily get over because the movie's so awesome.
I was trying to come up with a reason in my head why it's the same lady, but I said that's stupid, and I just ignored it. I was like, that's the same actor, whatever.
Right.
You're right, and that was like the airport scene was one of my favorite scenes. It was definitely Jameson's. Jameson was like, "Oh my God, he's a giant!"
Yeah, but he's also 5 years old, Phil.
Yeah, I know, but he thought it was amazing.
I liked the scene, too. That's the thing. I don't think it's a bad scene. I'm just saying,
yeah.
I don't think it's like the best part of the movie. I think that movie has so many different layers, and while that's the biggest, thickest layer to get through, they're like, oh my god, if you actually... Now, this isn't directed at you guys, but like maybe the listeners, but if you actually watched Winter Soldier and you really watched this film, all the things from Winter Soldier kind of overlapped, and you got a continuation, like a perfect continuation, almost to a point where these movies, thankfully, feel like it could be the next day or whatever. You know, like the Russos did such a good job with the continuity that this movie looks just like a continuation of a Winter Soldier, and that's what's needed to be. I hate when you watch like, okay, from Star Wars to Empire Strikes Back is a huge leap in difference. Like, It looks like Star Wars. It's not like a knock on Empire, but, you know, like, haircuts are different. Certain things that shouldn't change have changed. Like, oh, okay, here and there. Like, Millennium Falcon's different. This is different. Like, with Winter Soldier to Civil War, like, the shit that should be the same is exactly the same. There's more thought into that.
Plus, it's like, even if you, especially if you're watching back to back, I mean, you know, seeing, or even if you go, Winter Soldier, Avengers 2,
okay,
and then Civil War. Like, it's almost like one, outside of obviously Ultron, it's like one continuous movie. It's fucking great. You know, and then you have, like, the huge change in character for Bucky. And then you see, you know, especially when he goes to his apartment and he's just like, why'd you save me? I don't know. And he goes, yeah, you do. And he's like, do you remember me? He goes, and he says, like, I think. And he goes, no, you remember me. And then he talks about his mom, and you're just like, yes, fucking yes. And then he doesn't kill dudes, and he's still beating the shit out of them, but he's like, no one's gonna die. And I'm like, I fucking love this film.
You know what I would like out of their next one, if they do another Captain America film, is just Captain America, the Falcon, and Bucky on like a 3-man thing, and you could even throw Scarlet Witch in there, or Scarlett Johansson in there with them.
Oh, that'd be great.
I like those 4 characters together because I think I love the Anthony Mackie, Chris Evans dynamic. When I watch those movies, I actually feel like they're it's like you and me, Dion, we're buddies. I buy into that relationship. That's like when I watch it, I'm like, oh, it's just like hanging out with Dion. I believe their friendship is genuine. That's great acting.
Right.
It may not be weird Heath Ledger-y, I'm gonna get fucked up in a hotel room and ultimately die from trying to prepare for a role.
Right.
But it's real life people. Acting is meant to put you into the headspace of these characters, and those 2 guys do it masterfully. I don't think that's an over-exaggeration. And then I like the dynamic between Bucky and the Falcon.
That might be my favorite over Falcon and Cap, because you see this, obviously, Falcon admires him, and there's that, and then, he earns Cap's trust, but then you have Bucky and Falcon truly realize that they're they're just similar people. Even when they're fighting Spider-Man, and he brings the drone and it grabs Spider-Man, and he's just, and fucking Bucky's like, you couldn't do that earlier, and he goes, I hate you. That's just so... I love it. It's so great.
The scene in the car, he's like, can you move your seat up? No.
Yeah.
They toned down the humor a lot in this film, but the humor that's there is way better, I think.
Well, the tone in this movie was meant to be more serious.
Level. I don't think so. I think the humor was it was just placed differently. You have, a dude who's essentially paralyzed making an awesome joke. You have, right before Tony goes on this fucking rant about, how he feels bad about this kid dying, and he's like, who keeps putting fucking coffee grounds in the disposal? What am I, running a house for a biker gang? That's really funny. It's a little out of place, but it's just really funny right before something serious is said. So I think if they just placed it in different spots.
See, the reason I bring it up like that is, for example, Age of Ultron, that has way too much. For the scene where Hulk's fighting Iron Man, he goes, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, and all this shit. There's just too many jokes run on. I'm glad that Joss Whedon directed the first Avengers film. I wish the Russos would have come in and have done Age of Ultron. I don't know. I don't shit on Age of Ultron like a lot of people, but the more I watch movies like Civil War and The Winter Soldier, the less I ever want to go back and watch Age of Ultron.
Now, Jeff, I thought Ultron was one of my favorite villains throughout the series, and I still think that the first Avengers was way better. And I agree, there was a bit too much comedy in the second Avengers film.
Yeah, it worked in the first one because we didn't see it coming. It's like Dustin always says, you tell a great joke, and then you add one more beat onto that joke to try to continue the joke, and it just falls flat. That's how I feel about, Age of Ultron. I can never watch that one again and still be fine with that. There's not a lot to the story of Captain America that's dependent upon that,
No, for sure. I guess a lot of that makes sense. I think it gets a lot of unjust criticism. I think that obviously I do agree that if anyone else did it, it would, if the Russo brothers did it, and even if they kept the same story, there wouldn't have been so much melodrama in it, and it would have made the movie better. Again, I think the crew, everything to do with Ultron is very good. Obviously, my issue is making Ultron this humanistic character more than a machine that's built on, is obsessed with destroying everything. But and then again, it's named after a storyline that was pretty fucking grim and dark. And then the movie's just focusing on not Scarlet Witch, fucking focusing on fucking Hulk and Black Widow, and then there's, it's just, he kidnaps Black Widow, and then, I don't know. It would, It got Joss Whedon is the best way for me to put it. It just got Joss Whedon.
I liked the whole Scarlett Johansson Incredible Hulk relationship though, because it made sense. See, the thing is, I mean, we always have a pretty anti-SJW stance on this channel. I don't like Rey from The Force Awakens because she's too perfect and knows everything. At least Black Widow has her faults and has her limitations and is a real character. Like, she's not the great. She's a great fighter, but there are better fighters than her. Like in Civil War, she gets her shit pushed in by Bucky.
Mm.
Like, Bucky beats her ass. He chokes her. Remember, she's laying on the table, grabbing her throat, like, oh,
yeah.
You know. People can beat her up, but she's also awesome. So it makes her an interesting character. And then they add the whole Red Room thing and the, you know,
See,
they
that
took
was
away
just
my ability to have children and shit. I love that.
I like that, but the way that it was put in words was so fucking weird. Like, he didn't... It was perfect for her to relate to Hulk. Like, yeah, you feel alone. You're one of the strongest dudes in the solar system. Like, I get that. But then, like, the way she just kind of brought it up. And I'm like, this Joss Whedon can't. He's so bad at putting actual human interaction in film. That's why, you know, as much as I love the first Avengers, you know, Hulk randomly talking about him trying to kill himself it would have been great in a different place. And as much as I love the Red Room thing, it was just so weird. And I'm just like, Joss Whedon, stop being Joss Whedon for 5 fucking minutes and write how people interact with one another. That's why the Russo movies are so fucking awesome, because, you know, you believe this is how they talk. When if the camera wasn't on them, this is how they would talk.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with you. I'm glad Joss Whedon's out. I've texted you that this week. I'm glad Joss Whedon's not in the MCU anymore, because Joss Whedon is... Him exiting is a great thing, because his style, while it's financially successful, is holding back the creativity of these other films. Now, like, when we get to Guardians 2 next year, I don't know how they're going to expand that story. Like, to me, there's really not much to add without... See, that the Guardians franchise is just a setup for Infinity War. Like, hey,
Guardians
there's going to be cosmic
2,
shit.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother can of worms that next year I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of shit for, because, you don't like Guardians of the Galaxy, bro? Like, no, I don't fucking like Guardians of the Galaxy as much as you do. It's a fine movie.
I got a feeling that Guardians is going to suck. The new one.
I would laugh. If that movie flops hard and is a shit movie, I'm gonna laugh, because it's like,
and
when you cater to the dumb people, you know. I like the first one too, man. I left that theater very fucking happy. But I guess I'm a little jaded because I allowed the people. Okay, I can like a movie like everyone else, but if I have to interact with a bunch of idiot people that are just constantly going on about it in like a stupid way, like, hey, I'm gonna play the music from that soundtrack and dance like Baby Groot for 2 hours. You're a fucking moron. Don't sit next to me at the comic convention. You're fucking up my day. Like, I fucking hate you. That happened for real. I wanted to punch that old man in the fucking nose.
I believe you.
It's like, okay, play it once, then just shut up. Don't play it again. What are you doing? Take the tape out.
Yeah, and I mean, like I've told you, this is just a personal bias. Those songs in that movie aren't that good to me. Those aren't songs that I have ever listened to on my own and gone like, yeah, I'm into this shit. Like, you know, if Volume 2 is a bunch of great 80s music, I'll probably... You know what'd be funny is if they put music I like, I'll probably enjoy this movie a lot, and other people will be like, I don't like it as much because it's not, you know, the same song, Hooked on a Feeling again. It's like, motherfucker, they don't play the same music in every movie.
It was in the trailer. Shut up.
Back to the Future Part 2. Yeah, thank you. That's enough for me, man. Like,
I don't like when they go back. Like, that was the one thing about Star Trek Beyond that bugged me. They went back and they used that song again that they
Sabotage.
used. Yeah. I was like, pick a different song. There's tons of Beastie Boys songs.
Well, I think the difference with Beyond was, like, it fit the scene. So, like, playing Sabotage when you're fucking, like, that's the weakness of the bad guy is different. But Guardians, it's like, hey, get it? They're in space, and they're listening to the 80s, man. That's cool, right? And we're doing the second one, and you're like, fucking...
Oh, yeah. Well, with Beyond, it was like, they just needed something loud. There's hundreds and thousands of loud songs. Why is it going to be that one?
I agree. I don't like is when they take like a classical, like, orchestral score and put, like, modern music with it. I don't like how that... Like with Star Wars, they do that perfectly. It's like the music in Star Wars that we hear is all that we know besides the Cantina theme, and that still even fits in with that music. Like it doesn't. It's not like all of a sudden a disco song pops up in the middle of Star Wars. It's like some otherworldly, weird, jazzy type of music. It'd be like, if like in James Bond movies, they don't even really do it either. They maybe like Skyfall is just like the theme song of the movie. They don't just all of a sudden play like "I Set Fire to the Rain" by Adele right in the middle of that fucking movie. That kind of shit takes me out because it dates the movie. Like Star Trek 1 made sense because he was on Earth, it was in the past, whatever. 2, I think Into Darkness is better than the first one. And the third one was just, God, man. Well, at the end of the year we'll talk more about it. But man, I was really disappointed with Beyond. I hated that new girl.
Yeah, Jayla, I didn't like her either.
Montgomery Scotty? Like, shut the fuck up.
No, yeah,
but
Beyond
I do agree
definitely.
with you.
Because I know we talked about it. It was definitely probably because I think I texted you after I watched it, and it was the third one for me in the three. But, pretty much Idris Elba pretty much saved that movie. Like, it was just like, oh, the fucking Enterprise is destroyed. Again, okay, thanks.
That was one of the things that bugged me the most about the film, and I told Jeff this like 2 weeks ago. Right away, the whole thing about Star Trek is, their missions in space, and they're using the Enterprise. Yeah, it always, they're under attack, whatever, it takes damage. But stop fucking destroying the ship. This one, they completely obliterated it. It's like fucking, 15 minutes into the movie? And then at the end of the movie, they're rebuilding it. Who the fuck does that? Why do you rebuild the same fucking thing?
Yeah.
Well, my problem with a lot of these reboot movies is it's like we spend 2 movies getting a character to be the version that we want, and then we take away, like in James Bond. I sat through Casino Royale. No James Bond theme, no Bond, James Bond, all that shit. And then we get to the end, we hear the theme, he says the line, he's James Bond, I'm fucking ready for the next one. Quantum Solace comes out, he's not James Bond yet. He's back to being a cunt. I'm a rebel, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that movie sucked ass. Let's get to the next one, Skyfall. I'm back to where I was in the beginning of Casino Royale. I'm almost James Bond. And then finally, Inspector, we get like the full gun barrel, all the shit that makes a James Bond movie. It's like with Star Trek. We're waiting to get to the point where it's, all the fun shit without the ship getting destroyed and getting marooned on a planet. Like, we're never going to get there.
Well, plus, like, the thing that pisses me off is the reason the ship being destroyed should be a big deal because that's a part of who the crew is. So, like, when they did it in, The Search for Spock, the ship's breaking the atmosphere, and Kirk's like, my God bones, what have I done? But then you have this one, it gets disabled in Inner Darkness. He looks to the crew and he says, sorry, like, you think that he would learn from that. Like, and then he goes, he's like, oh, well, he's like, well, when did you know that she was going to do that? He's like, well, I should have known before. Like, yeah, motherfucker, like, you just don't care if your ship gets blown up. They'll give me a new one. Fuck them. Like, come on, guys. Like, God damn it. The saving grace, is having a dude that was a part of the World War that ended up being the Star Wars universe that we know. Like, that was the thing, having Idris Elba being like, yo, I grew up in a world at war. That was the part that made me like the movie, was, this clash of, different time periods, which I thought was cool. But again, yeah, there's just so much in the movie. You're just like, guys, you could have done a better fucking job.
Yeah, and I'm excited for the fourth one. Beyond is my least favorite of the 3. Into Darkness was absolutely amazing.
I own it on Blu-ray along with the first one. I didn't rush out to buy number 3. Though.
I've probably seen that one 6 dozen times. But and I'm excited about the fourth one because they're talking. I can't remember the director's name, but he was talking about they want to bring back Chris Hemsworth, so that means they're going to do another time travel thing.
Which is a mistake. Shouldn't do that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's going to the well one too many times. Let's see. The first one had time travel. The second one did not have time travel, right?
Right.
No, but the time travel from the first film affected the plot of the second film.
And I'm cool with that. But, we'll talk about it more. We'll do some... we should do a Star Trek themed episode in the future. I know it's only going to get like 17 views, but... Dion, we'll make fun of the first film in V'ger, then we'll praise Wrath of Khan. Number 3, you like 3, I don't. I like 4, and then I don't like any more of the movies until we get to the 09 Star Trek.
You don't like Undiscovered Country?
No.
Oh, fuck.
No, wait. I like The Voyage Home with the Save the Whales. That one's my favorite one, I think. I love that movie.
Was Double Dumbass on you?
Yeah! I was just about to say that shit. Beat me by that much. Well, you were talking about something that was ultimately disappointing. Let's talk about the next comic book movie of 2016, Suicide Squad. Yeah. What? Okay, serious question. What's worse, this or Batman v Superman?
Batman v Superman, but Suicide Squad's fucking close as shit.
I'm gonna go with Suicide Squad.
Loudy threw his hat on the ground after leaving Suicide Squad.
He did. I remember that.
He was like, "God damn it!" and just got pissed, like genuinely upset. I was just like, the movie sucked, but it wasn't like giving me a heart attack or anything, Loudy. Like,
well, you remember I fucking like when you and I did the drunk commentary, and I was like, I have to talk about how pissed I am about this movie.
You and I hated this movie so much that I released a 1-hour review when it first came out, and then I messaged you like 3 days later, and we released another hour-long video of us bitching. Like, we fucking hated Suicide Squad, man.
It was just
this is another
all the hype, and it was so bad. I mean, at least with Batman vs Superman, something decent. You know, we had Ben Affleck did a decent job at Batman. There was nothing good to say.
Will Smith was
a
good dead shot.
But Will Smith is a piece of shit. So he gave us Willow Smith or whatever the fuck is Jaden Smith.
Willow's pretty bad too.
He gave us the Smith family.
Blame Jada for half of that shit.
Hey, Jada, you don't get away out of this scot-free. I'm gonna fucking find you.
And your band sucks, goddammit.
And I'm gonna fucking
I'm gonna shit in your drum set.
I'm getting a DeLorean. I'm going back in time, and I'm gonna cut your tubes. There you go. Tie your tubes.
You could pretty much just finish her and Will Smith off around 1997.
No kids for you, bitch.
Like I don't like a Will Smithless world is okay. Like he was great until Men in Black, and then decline.
I'm glad that he turns down a lot of films because he would have been Neo in The Matrix, and that would have been terrible.
See, I would have been okay with that.
No, I would not have. I would not have at all.
Easy fucking Spock. I would not have.
I would not have. It's
but
illogical.
It was meant to be. Look at Keanu Reeves is amazing as Neo. I don't want Will Smith. Will Smith almost played Superman.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
God,
no black Superman. Like, don't switch that shit. Don't race swap any characters. He would have been awesome.
Yeah, he would have.
Luke,
I'm from Krypton. God damn it!
Oh, Krypton. Oh,
it's simple.
I'm gonna kill you, Brainiac.
Krypton. Krypton. Too late.
Oh, Zod!
He's like, Lois, do you not know it's me? My fucking retard! He just starts screaming at her. I can see that be the movie where Superman accidentally kills Lois Lane mid-sex. Like, oh! You okay, Phil?
Fucking imagining that. Oh.
He makes that fucking face from the opening of Face Off when he touches the choir girl's ass. Oh. You know what? I don't like to imagine dudes coming, but I like to imagine that Nicolas Cage's O-face is that.
All right, Jeff,
like that's the face he made when he sired all of his children.
You need to animate Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Oh, God damn it.
The Adventures of Nicolas Cage as Superman.
If Warner Brothers tries to take me to court, you use the Superman logo. That's not an S. That stands for hope. I hope I don't get sued.
Oh, God.
No, but Suicide Squad, man, like, what's a positive to say about, like, the actual parts of the film? Yeah, like, Will Smith is a good actor, but he has some good lines, but other than that...
we can say that Jai Courtney finally isn't a complete piece of shit, and, like, we found a role that we like him in.
True. Captain Boomerang was maybe my favorite member.
I agree, for sure.
I didn't give any shits about any of them, so...
When he grabbed that beer and ran out of the bar, that was pretty fucking funny. Let's see. Slipknot was a joke because he was killed right away.
Best part of the film.
Yeah, pretty much. I gotta say, my favorite part of the movie is when Harley Quinn was dancing to Super Freak in that strip club.
Yeah.
That's the only part of the movie that I look back on fondly and go, damn. Because Margot Robbie's hot, but she was not. I always feel sorry for her when I watch this movie, because it's like, I'm trying so hard, but this script was written in 6 weeks and it's clear.
Yeah.
Like, no one gave a fuck.
We got Ike Barinholtz too. He's my favorite part of that movie.
He was the best actor in that film. Because he was fucking awesome.
He was hilarious. Harley, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Why don't we talk about the worst part of the film, the Joker?
Ugh.
Didn't need to be in this fucking movie. Much like Harley Quinn didn't need to be in this movie. It would have been nice if there was a Batman film and the Joker and Harley Quinn just appeared in it, you know? No fucking reason, just like, hey, Batman was fighting the Joker, and then, you know, something happens, and Harley Quinn's there or some shit.
Well, I felt bad because I was excited to see him. I was like, you know what, I'll give him a chance. You know, Jared Leto, you know, I like him as an actor. I don't love him. I like him. You know, I'd like to see how he does. And it was just a dude with tattoos and shit in his mouth. And, you know, and then just like what the fuck, man? Like, God damn it.
I come back from the bathroom, the first thing I hear is, and shit in his mouth. God damn it.
It's that kind of party, dude.
Cool party.
Cool party.
Oh, I have good news, Dion.
What?
My complete box set of Miami Vice has shipped.
Ooh wee. Fuck yeah.
It'll be here Saturday.
How much did that run you?
Normally it's $100. It was on sale for $47 on Black Friday.
Titties.
Or not Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Same thing.
Yeah, the only thing that sucked is you had to spend a certain amount to get free shipping. So I bought a copy of Rise of the Planet of the Apes on Blu-ray for $3. So that was my impulse buy. Like, hey, I'll buy this movie that I like, but don't really want to own. So now I gotta go get the rest of the set. It's like, fuck.
God damn it.
I know. Fuck you, Amazon. You're so
Bunch of
amazing.
completionists.
Yeah, that's what we are. Dion's got me on the trend now. I want to get all the Marvel movies.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I hate you and everything that you represent with your completionist list that I have not completed. Fuck me. I'm an idiot. I know, that's why I'm gonna visit you in 26 days.
Fuck yeah.
Hashtag butt stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but Suicide Squad, here's the thing about the DC EU in 2016. It's been detrimental to that brand. Like, this year has kind of killed that brand. Because normally, like, you know, you'll have Spider-Man 2 was amazing, and then number 3 was shitty, but you still had 2 great movies, so it's like, you know, 2/3 of that franchise is amazing. The DCEU is all shitty. Like,
yeah.
It's bad film after bad film after worst film. It's like, you know, AIDS, cancer, and hepatitis. Like, you don't want any of those.
Yeah. And fucking watching Suicide Squad was like getting fucked in the ass by someone who has both AIDS and hepatitis, and then you're like, I'm gonna get cancer from this. Like, it was just not enjoyable. And then like, oh my god, like it needed to be great. It needed to save DCU, and they couldn't do it.
So what you're telling me, it's like spending a night with Pamela Anderson from 2016 when all you wanted was Pamela Anderson from 1997.
Yeah, Suicide Squad made me feel like Kid Rock.
Oh God. Ugh. Ugh.
I am not watching this movie.
Bullshit. You can suck my cock. Oh my god. Kid Rock is Okay, who's worse, Limp Bizkit or Kid Rock?
Oh, Limp Bizkit, for sure.
I'll go with Kid Rock. At least I can get down to rolling.
Who's worse? Kid Biscuit?
Kid Bizkit?
Is it Kid Bit and Bits?
Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock, or Nickelback?
Or ICP.
Well, ICP for sure.
Well, take ICP out of the question.
Why? They suck dick hole.
Right, we already know that.
Nickel. Look, I can listen to Limp Bizkit and go, like, I like 3 songs by them and not be that embarrassed. I can't listen to a single fucking song by Nickelback. Like, the Spider-Man theme song doesn't count because that's not Nickelback.
You need a hero? Oh, damn it.
I listened to Bob and Tom in the mornings on the way to work, and they were making fun of Nickelback this morning. They're making fun of that song "Photograph." This photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
I just love that meme where it's look at this graph, and it's just a graph on the fucking photo. I love that meme.
The lyric that kills me is, "And what the hell is on Joey's head?" I want to know what's on his head. Damn it! Tell us. You're describing the rest of the photograph. Tell us.
Oh God. Yeah, Suicide Squad is definitely like the Nickelback of the DCEU.
Yeah.
What would that make Batman v Superman? Limp Bizkit? At least there's some redeeming qualities?
Yes, it is a Limp Bizkit. And then Man of Steel is the Kid Rock of the whole group.
See, for me, I'd have to put Limp Bizkit as the Man of Steel because like I said, Rollin' and My Way are awesome songs. I don't care, how white or black you are. Like, those two songs appeal to everyone that's ever watched wrestling.
Yep.
And, like, that song, My Way, every time I hear it, it just makes me think of the end of the Attitude Era, and I get a little sad, like, oh. That's the end of wrestling being good.
Well,
okay, so
last movie
Phil,
of the year was
Doctor Strange, and it was phenomenal.
Loved it.
I would have loved. I don't like to do drugs that much. I prefer alcohol, but I would have loved to have been on acid and watch that movie.
I would just like to see you high off your ass because I've seen you drunk going on about big old cookies and shit. Number one, I'll forgive you.
Yeah, Benedict Cabbage Patch was...
Coming or snatch?
Better put a ring on it.
I don't want to. I like to live dangerously.
I too like.
And then, in depression. I'm stuck with this bitch forever. What'd you say?
That's what Batman v Superman is for, so you can live in depression.
Oh, shit. I think I'd rather... I think I'd rather have an illegitimate child than watch that movie again. Nope. At least I can turn that movie off. That kid is forever. Nightmares, man. Nightmares. I don't really think we have too much to say about Doctor Strange because, one, we just saw it, and two, there's a review. Yeah, there's a review of it on our channel. You can listen to it right now. It's amazing, and we all gave it high marks and praise. It looked great. The story was great. The acting was great. And I'm going to say great on the acting because you had Benedict Cumberbatch, who is an A-list quality actor, world class. Rachel McAdams is great. You had Tilda Swinton, who did a great job. That Shitwell AG4, or whatever the black guy, did great. Benedict Wong was great. Mads Mikkelsen was great. Everyone, like, seriously, you picked a bunch of just, like, noticeable faces in Hollywood. Like, I knew everyone, and I went, oh, I like all these people. Even you, Tilda Swinton, with your weird blonde bush.
Oh, I love Tilda Swinton so much.
Would you bang
her?
her?
Fuck yeah.
Even with the bald head?
She never shaved her head, though. That was just a cap.
I probably would go with Tilda Swinton from Constantine, but with boobs and not, like, a super flat chest.
I'll go with, if I have to do Tilda Swinton, I'm going to go with Tilda Swinton from Female Perversions because she's a little thicker back then and looks good.
I can go with that.
And has long hair, I think. Okay,
so,
anyone else have anything to say?
Well, I had a piece of news that I just...
We already did the news.
But it's about your buddy.
Oh, yeah, here's a piece of news we should have talked about. Kanye West has gone batshit crazy.
That's what I was going to talk about. He's been checked into a mental institution.
What, today?
No, he's been in a mental hospital for a week.
He got out this morning, I think.
Did he?
Oh, God damn it.
I think they released him.
So, Dion, I'm looking at a picture of Tilda Swinton from your movie.
I am too.
Where she looks like a man. And now I'm looking at her from my movie where she actually looks like a woman.
I'm watching her getting eaten out at the desk. I like that idea a lot. And then...
Yeah.
I'd get down with the get down.
I bet you she gives a good BJ. Just saying.
Oh, you know she's a freaky woman.
She's got to do something to keep you around. With because she doesn't have eyebrows, so you don't know what you're looking at. So she's just chugging that ass cock. Anyway, that's an old joke from an old movie. I won't even get into that. So the last time we were actually together was episode 50 of World Class Bullshitters, and surprisingly, it had a shitty turnout. So only 500 people have watched it. So thanks to those that have supported the show. Let's see if we got some good fan mail from it. The guy from Carcosa has his list of favorite films. His favorite films are, this is in 5-to-1 order: Airplane, Hellraisers 1 and 2, Ghostbusters, History of the World Part 1, and Aliens and Alien tied for number 1. Commander C2121 says his favorite movie is Inception, followed by The Iron Giant and Civil War. Was that an or a good?
An for Inception being your favorite movie. It's a good film. I wouldn't say it's anyone's favorite.
Well, it's Commander C2121's favorite film. We found somebody. Let's see. A bunch of people are congratulating us on our 2000s. By the way, we've gained 20 subs this week, which is pretty awesome.
Oh.
Like, it's a quick turnaround.
We're
building up to 3,000 now. I will too, man. Drew Hughes, who's a longtime listener to the show, said that his favorite movies are, this is in 1 to 5 order: Jaws, Back to the Future, Rocky, Lethal Weapon, and the Blues Brothers. That's a list I can get down to.
That's a great list.
Like, I don't like Jaws, but I love the other 4.
I fucking love Jaws.
Yeah, I love the other 4. I don't like sharks, so
I don't think anyone. I like
watching
them. I would never hang out with
I
one.
don't enjoy watching them. That's my biggest fear, to be attacked by a fucking shark. Like, when we go to Florida, I ain't getting in the goddamn
That's
ocean.
a very legit fear, too, because sharks didn't need to evolve, and it's like, I don't want to fuck with anything that's been the same for the last million years.
Do you remember that story about, God, what was that, 12 or 14 years ago, about that little kid at Virginia Beach who got his arm bitten off by the shark that came? I was there the week before that, so I'm like, nope, fuck that. That could have been.
Or when the little girl, the teenage girl was surfing and it bit through her leg and bit her board and shit, and then she was standing next to her board. Yeah. I was like, why the fuck are you carrying that? I would be shitting myself at night thinking about a soulless creature biting my fucking leg off. Fuck you. Fuck the ocean. Fuck that.
Let's see. Ooh, is that Penelope Cruz?
No, it's
I don't know. That's
Emily Ratajkowski.
Oh yeah, she's hot. I've spanked with her before. Oggs for President gave us his list of favorite movies and video games, but I'm only gonna. I will. His first video game he ever played was Luigi's Mansion.
Poor kid.
Wow. Oh my God! I have a cold and it's making me cough. That was your first game. That wasn't even my first GameCube game I ever played, man. I wish I could go back in time and give you GoldenEye first.
I did enjoy Luigi's Mansion, though.
Oh, I liked the game. I'm not shitting on Luigi's Mansion. But I mean, I think everyone's first video game should be Super Mario Brothers. That or Pac-Man. That's what you should train on to get the eye-hand coordination down. And then you need to advance. Like, Dion, make D2 play Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, for sure. You got another classics, boy.
Good. Now, Oggs for President's favorite movies are Dumb and Dumber / Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Shining / One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, so he likes Stanley Kubrick. Wait, Stanley Kubrick didn't direct.
No, it was fuck, I can't remember, but I know it wasn't Stanley Kubrick.
He likes Jack Nicholson, is what I meant to say. It's very late when we're recording this tonight. Beverly Hills Cop and Star Wars are tied at 3. Back to the Future and Die Hard are tied at number 2, and Spider-Man 2 is his favorite movie. I want to watch your number 2s and 3s are my top 4 favorite movies, so I'll watch that list for the most part. Let's see, who else? Brian Lape, does he put his favorite movies? He did pick up a Schlocktoberfest shirt, so thank you. Okay, so here's some new fans that we've never talked about. Crimson Wing. His favorite movies are, and this is a 5-to-1 order, The Thing / Die Hard, Beverly Hills Cop / RoboCop, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and Star Wars. I'm seeing a lot of Back to the Future love and a lot of Beverly Hills Cop love, and I'm very happy.
Fuck yeah.
The movie does not get enough praise, man. I swear to God, it's like the unforgotten classic. It was a bigger hit than Ghostbusters in the theaters. I'm not saying culturally it was a bigger deal, but financially it made more money. That's not an opinion. That's actually a fact.
I got the Metal 10 Blu-ray edition. Fuck yeah.
For Beverly Hills Cop?
No. For Back to the Future. But yeah, I wish I had that. I wish they made that.
I wish they made it. I wish they had parts 2 and 3 on Blu-ray in America. I'd buy it.
Fuck yeah.
Here we go. Brian Lape gave his list of 5 favorite films. Duck Soup, never seen it. I know it's the Marx Brothers, though. I do like that line in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when he's talking about his diary. I should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. Like, I just love that fucking line. That's, we need to talk about more Indiana Jones shit.
I know.
Like,
I love those
movies. That franchise
movies.
is bullshit. The 4th one's garbage, but the other 3 are perfect. Like, if you didn't make part 4, I would say the Indiana Jones trilogy is the perfect trilogy, even over Star Wars.
For sure, no.
Because, like, if we're comparing them, like, Raiders and the original Star Wars are on par, like, for quality. Empire and Temple of Doom, I like them both equal. And I like Last Crusade more than Return of the Jedi. So that's just me.
No, I could. Yeah, definitely. Last Crusade definitely is. Even though I love Return of the Jedi, I mean, objectively, it is a better third movie than Return of the Jedi for sure.
Plus, Harrison Ford actually wants to be there.
Exactly.
All right, Brian Lape's rest of his films are Die Hard 3, great film, Back to the Future, T2, and The Empire Strikes Back.
Mm.
I haven't seen Duck Soup, so I can't comment on it, but the rest of that list is spot on. I think, is Back to the Future the most commonly listed favorite film?
I think so. People have been really throwing it out there.
Good. I mean, I think it's the best movie ever made just because I say so, so I'm glad you all agree with me. So that's fan mail. I'm surprised, though. One more video I'm going to read some of the fan mail from, excuse me. The top 5 Marvel movies.
All right.
Kind of surprised how many people disagree about Civil War being our favorite, or the best.
Oh.
God damn, Emily Ratajkowski, she is fine. Anyway, sorry, there's a naked woman on our Skype chat right now, and it's way more interesting than,
Fan chat.
Sorry, fans, I love you guys to death, but
all right.
if Emily Ratajkowski, if this chick was naked in front of me, I wouldn't talk to a single one of you, and I'd expect you wouldn't do the same thing either, because you'd be like, wow, those are big tits. And I wouldn't blame you, man. I wouldn't blame any of you guys. Let's see. Everyone pretty much... Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's names. Ali and Durley, he says, doesn't Civil War rewrite Spider-Man's history? And he thought Civil War was pretty stupid and shallow plot-wise. Well, no, it didn't rewrite Spider-Man's history at all. Like, I don't get what he means by that. Do you guys?
No, I think he's trying to say that the whole parent thing is not a great storyline, which I wholeheartedly disagree. Unless he's trying to say that the whole revenge thing is dumb, which again is even dumber because you can't tell me that you watch the part where they get to the bunker and then all the other super soldiers have fucking bullet holes in their head that you didn't go, what the fuck is going to happen? Like, that was awesome. That whole misdirection, this is a clear-cut case of me being pissed my family's dead. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, people need to really go back and watch this movie again and again. Like, it was $8 on Black Friday. There was no excuse not to own it. It really is as good as I'm saying it is. You just really need to pay attention to it. And you need to be well-versed on the films that came before it. It's not... The cool thing about Marvel is they're not making movies for everybody and their grandma. Like, everybody and their grandma goes to see them, but, like, there is a proper jumping-on point. And if you are like all of us and you've been there since the beginning, like, these movies are made for us. That's why we get excited for them and we go see them at, fucking 7 p.m. on a Thursday night and rush home to review them for you guys to hear us talk about them. Like, Marvel's been doing it right for 8 years straight.
Yeah.
They're not going to fucking change it to appeal to, like, some new little kids. Like, their movies make billions of dollars. I don't give a shit that little Johnny had trouble understanding who Winter Soldier is and who the Falcon is. Like, go... Winter Soldier is fucking everywhere. Like, it's on TV. Go watch it. Like, it's not my responsibility to suffer for your, ignorance.
Plus, like, that is proof positive of the old adage, if you care about what you're doing, that success will come. But if you're going strictly just for the success bit, people are going to notice. And, like, that's purely what Marvel's doing. It was like, hey, we're gonna make it. We want to make good movies based on the shit that we already have, and the fame, the fortune, the success is a natural consequence of that.
Speaking of consequences, Brian Lapes says the Winter Soldier is a shitfest.
Oh, fuck you.
I love that dude. That hurt my feelings when I read that. I'm like, shitfest, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know you. It's not a shitfest. It's a great movie. I would like you to tell me why it's a shitfest.
It's kind of disappointing coming from you, Brian.
Yeah, you're still in their top 5 favorite fans, but come on.
I think you've been drinking too much of your own beer.
It hurt to stop.
He likes Iron Man 2, though, so it hurt your stock even more, Brian.
I like Iron Man 2. I'm not going to say
oh,
it's better than Winter Soldier. Hell no. And Iron Man is my
his
favorite
top
character.
5. His top 5 list would be Spider-Man 2, Iron Man 1, Spider-Man, Thor, and the Avengers. I like all those movies. Clearly, if you watch the top 5, Spider-Man 2 and the Avengers are in there, and Iron Man. So 3 of our 5 are, the same. It's just Thor's great, but man, that movie doesn't have the depth that the Captain America movies have. I mean, if you were turned off by the first one and you skipped the second one, that's your mistake right there. Because you could never watch the first one and see the Avengers, know Captain America's story, and watch the next one, and just know that Peggy Carter was a woman from his past. Like, that's really all you need to know, because everything else is pretty much laid out in front of you. Oggs for President says that Spider-Man 2 is a much better movie than Civil War. Oggs, up until this May, I would agree with you, man, but Spider-Man 2, it holds up well, but it doesn't elevate. How do I want to say this in a positive way without shitting on Spider-Man 2, which is, I got it on Blu-ray, DVD, love the fuck out of the movie. Spider-Man 2 is a great film. Civil War is a greater film. It has better acting, better characters. Spider-Man 2 has moments where it drags on a little bit, especially if you watch the extended 2.1 cut. The Mary Jane stuff is fine, and I like it. It really builds to that end reveal, but the John Jameson stuff was a little much. Like, you could have cut that out and maybe had, like, the Harry stuff was perfect. The Aunt May stuff was perfect. All that was great. I don't know. I just feel like if the stakes were higher in Civil War, you had a better cast. Tobey Maguire is cool, but I didn't like the part where he gave up his powers, I mean, I've read Spider-Man number 50. I know the whole Spider-Man No More storyline, and I don't think it's that great of a comic book. He says about the visuals are great, and it lived up to the hype from Spider-Man 1. Yeah, it did. Spider-Man 1 was great. Spider-Man 2 is better. The effects are 14 years old, or 12 years old, and they still look great, man. Like, I'm not going to shit on... It was really hard to put Spider-Man 2 at number 2. Because, Dion, you've known me for a decade almost. How long have I been going on about Spider-Man 2?
The entire time I've known you.
Thank you. So, there you go, listeners. Like, the list. I tried to give my most objective opinion on it. I guess it's the right way to say it. It's late here. I'm tired of shit. Like, I tried to be as straightforward. I'm going on, like, what I feel is a quality film. There are tons of movies on the list that are shit shows, but I tried to find the positives in them. And you know what? The Punisher was a great movie starring Thomas Jane, and that deserved its top 10 spot for me.
Yep.
So that's pretty much the rest, or that's all I'm going to read fan mail wise. We've got a couple hundred comments since the Thanksgiving break. It's been a nice little break. I missed doing the show though. You can tell by tonight's show being like 2 hours long. So Dion, normally I sit and read you our favorite articles from Goop.com, correct?
You do.
Well, Time Magazine has an article out that says Gwyneth Paltrow's new store is your one-stop shop for sex toys and caviar.
What? Is caviar like a euphemism for pussy or something?
Her furry caviar?
Ooh, well.
I just look at her, and she talks about her big 70s bush, and I'm like, is it darker than your hair?
Yeah, I want to see it too. Like, I want to see the proportions. I want to see, is it like thick, like it covers the whole area?
My guess is it's kind of thick. Like, I just look at her, I'm like, it's kind of thick, straight blonde hair that poofs out. Like, whatever. And, that's cool. Better than bald, but whatever. Oh, by the way, she has a neon sign of Goop.
Oh, God.
Gwyneth, I will do weird things to you or just offer you money if you'll give me that sign.
Hey, man. I'll watch.
I'd rather do the weird things. That way Dion can be like, hey, I watched Jeff lick Gwyneth Paltrow's asshole for 20 minutes. Like, that's a story we'll tell your children that, that's already alive.
The things he will do.
The story we'll tell my children. Hey, I will do a lot of things for world-class bullshitters, including the one-chip challenge. As soon as I can find those chips, listeners, we told you guys we would do that for the 2,000th subscriber, and Dan and I have looked, my mom and I have looked, we looked with Phil. We can't find those fucking one-chip challenge chips anywhere, so if you guys want to mail us some, you shoot us an email at worldclassbs@mail.com, and, we'll work out something, because I want to suffer just for the entertainment value alone.
Please.
Oh, and by the way,
don't put any drugs in them.
Yeah, don't mail me food.
If they show up and they're clearly open, don't.
Yeah, you know what? If you know where they are and you send me a unopened pack of them, cool. Then we'll eat them on camera. But if you lace it with like fucking bath salts and I kill Dan, well, his blood's got to be so contaminated. I don't want to even think about it. It doesn't look like we have much mail to... Well, we have a ton of mail thanks to Twitter because, our show's growing. And we get tons and tons of Twitter followers now who, don't ever tweet us, but whatever.
I gotta get back to tweeting. I'd have been dropping the ball with that shit.
Hey, it's okay, man. Hey, Chris Littleton mentioned us in a conversation.
Ooh.
That is the Caped Crusader. Oh, he liked one of our videos. That guy is a very good listener, and I appreciate him. Merry Christmas, Chris Littleton. Early as shit Christmas, wishes, but Merry Christmas, my friend. And if you're Jewish, Happy Hanukkah. And if you celebrate Kwanzaa, nobody celebrates Kwanzaa. Like, no. I've never met black people that celebrate Kwanzaa, ever. And I'm half black, so...
Well, usually you gotta be actually from Africa.
African. So. When I was a kid, I had to go to this children's hospital for like 2 weeks because I was in the study, and they had this wall of like cultural differences, and there was a button that says Kwanzaa. It was like, Kwanzaa is a time for African Americans, and I would just keep pressing it over and over, and my mom and I would just laugh at it because it would just like repeat itself. So every time I think of Kwanzaa, I think of that stupid button and those yellow dashikis.
Oh.
I don't know any people like that. I mean, Dion and I are like, we hang out and we watch Die Hard around Christmas. We don't talk about, the meaning of whatever. So that's pretty much this week's show. Before we go, make sure to check out incarnate-studios.com. Found out the mobile site wasn't active thanks to a glitch through my web domain host. So, yay, if you've ever gone to the site and nothing loaded, it's because the fucking domain was retarded and not that there was no website. So, that's now fully active. It's nice and vibrant. You can check out the Grab Life by the Pussy Donald Trump shirt. You can get our new Christmas Slayer parody t-shirt, which I've actually sold sweaters already. In the first couple hours, they started moving. So get yours while you can. I'm only selling them through the holiday season, so if you know a heavy metal fan or you're a heavy metal fan yourself, you definitely want to check it out. It's over at incarnatestudios.com/allshirts. They're perfect for the Christmas parties that you want to go to and wear those fucking sweaters. Well, just wear a cool one, man. Like, if you want to be that metal dude that, like, shows up to a Christmas party and is cool about the party, like, get one of these sweaters. Like, you won't be disappointed. Also, if you're a fan of this show and you would like to support it, pick up a world-class... Yeah, get a world-class bullshitters t-shirt, man. They're classy. I'm thinking about making one of those Grand Theft Auto-styled world-class bullshitter shirts. Maybe put the poster on a t-shirt. I think that might move. It would be a good way to represent, the podcast. And people will be like, who are those guys on your shirt? And you go, the best motherfuckers I've ever met on the internet, even though you've never met us, because we've never met any fans yet. One day we will, and that'll be awesome. You can buy us beer and we'll tell you all about us. So, that's pretty much it for this week's show. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add?
No, boss.
Phil?
Yeah, I got something.
Oh, God.
Okay.
How many women does it take to screw in a light bulb?
God damn it.
I didn't know God damn it was a number, but go ahead, Phil.
None. They just sit in the dark and bitch.
Speaking of sitting in the dark like a bitch, Loudy.
I think Loudy's dead.
Loudy has fallen asleep during the podcast. That's a cardinal no-no. And I can't even hear you snoring.
Yeah.
So fuck you,
Probably
Loudy.
muted his mic.
It'd be funny if he was awake. He's like, guys, I can't hear
Yeah, it's like,
you.
I'm trying.
I can't talk
Guys,
to you.
it's on my Xbox. Say my name again. See if I can fucking respond.
Heisenberg. Now we love you, dude. If you ever listen this far into the episode, which most of us won't. Hell, even I won't. It's like, whatever. Don't care. I'm going to edit this and put it up. I don't have 2 hours. Well, I do have 2 hours, but here's the thing about the podcast. There are some times when I listen to this show and I'm excited to listen to it again and again. And then there are weeks where I'm like, I literally recorded this last night. Why do I want to relive last night again? Like, there is a whole life ahead of me to enjoy. Why relive those 2 hours? So, maybe that's why I don't listen to the podcast sometimes, but we were on it. I wonder if Dan listens to the show anymore.
Probably not.
Because he did it.
Yeah, I was say he's probably busy, watching anime or some other shit that doesn't interest me. Like most of the things he's into. Okay, Dan, I don't like Crunchyroll, and I like Dragon Ball Z and Lupin the Third, but any of those animes with like schoolgirls and tentacles and futa, that's just not for me.
Hey, Dion.
Yo.
Why can't you fool an aborted fetus?
Because it tastes like Doritos.
No, because it wasn't born yesterday.
That one's actually got some quality to the joke, dude. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the show for this week, folks. By the way, the bullshitters, and I mean all of us, except for Dustin because he's busy, are getting together in 2017, and Nick is going to bring his cameras, and I think we're going to film some world-class bullshitters world premiere videos. So you're going to get to see us drunk. I'm thinking, Dion, we should film while we're down there? We should do a Hulk Hogan off, where we try to do the best Hulk Hogans while we're drunk.
Oh, yeah.
I got a Hulk Hogan t-shirt I'm dying to wear, so...
Oh, I might specifically try and find another Hulk Hogan costume. Mine, I tore mine up because I'm so big and swole, but I'm going to buy another Hulk Hogan costume just for that.
You tore yours up because you probably got drunk and acted out his entrance.
Probably. I think you know me too well.
Hey, we are best friends and you're a real American.
Yes. Living in America.
That's the first song I played when Donald Trump won. That's all I can think of is fucking Apollo Creed dancing.
That's awesome.
If he dies, he dies. God damn. Dude, Rocky turned 40 this week.
That's fucking nuts, man. That is nuts.
That is a phenomenal franchise. Well...
5 is bad, but I love the Rocky movie.
5 is garbage. I've never seen Creed yet, so...
Creed was
pretty good.
It was awesome.
I got it from Nick. I'm going to watch it. I don't know. I hate Michael B. Jordan as a person, as a human being. He's like a piece of shit to me, so...
Why the random hate for Michael B. Jordan?
Oh, I've always hated Michael B. Jordan.
Because of Fantastic Four?
Before that, I think he's just a shitty dude.
I love your hatred of him. It's so great.
And, I hate his parents, too. You clearly knew naming your child Michael Jordan was not a good thing. Just name him anything else. Joshua Jordan, Bill Jordan, Tommy Jordan. Hell, name him Jordan. Montel Jordan. Actually, I would like if you... Dion, name your next kid Jordan Green.
Jordan. Done.
It sounds like Baden-Baden, Germany. I like that. All right, folks, thanks for watching. We'll be back later. Actually, we'll be back next week. There's nothing special coming out until next week's show, so keep it locked into World Class Bullshitters. Yeah, we got 2017 fans, and only 200 of you have watched our Marvel Countdown videos. That's not even 10% fully. So get your asses over and go watch the backlog of World Class Bullshitters videos. We got, over 100 now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, it's getting to a point where you could watch World Class Bullshitters video every day until, June. So, the only excuse you have to not watch those videos is if you're watching Beverly Hills Cop on Netflix. That's all I'm saying.
Amen to that.
It's the only way I'll forgive you guys. But thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with something awesome. If you got any suggestions, email them to us, tweet them to us. Tell us in the comments what you'd like to hear us talk about. We probably won't do any video game topics because we all come from different schools of thought on gaming. Dion is a very PlayStation-centric guy. Phil loves his Nintendo and Xbox. I don't give a fuck anymore because I'm too old for this shit. So,
Thanks,
you know, that's a great movie. Terrible show, though, by the way.
That's what I've been hearing.